hate computers. I hate everything about computers. I really want to stress, because if you're only listening, I'm 15 minutes late, and I was ready to go at the turn of the hour, and the stream just doesn't work. I pressed the go live button, it didn't work. And even before then, I figured out what was wrong with my UPS. I had to trip the circuit breaker again on it. But then after that, the stream just doesn't work. So I literally run out to the living room, and I unplug my Wi-Fi extender, and I drag it. My router right now is dangling, literally dangling between the Starlink box, and it is stretched tightly across the wall into an outlet where the Wi-Fi extender is plugged in. Usually I have it plugged into a UPS directly. This time it's just plugged into a wall, and the router is dangling halfway between it like a spider sitting in a silken strand web. But as a result, I now have 4 bars on my Wi-Fi thing. So you know what? I call that a win. So that aside, let's see. This is the Friday stream, the second stream of the week. Actually, the first stream of October. I guess I just say included. Well, I mean, when I started streaming on... No, wait, Tuesday is October 1st. Sorry, I have brain damage. It's okay. So, I have some Kiwi stuff to talk about, but I'll save that towards the end of the news segment, which, as all of you will recall, requires the news hamster. Also, my throat hurts, so I'm going to be talking weird, as if I don't usually talk weird. But today will be especially weird, just a heads up. Let's start with the breaking news in the Fuck Copyright segment. Crunklord reports that the GitHub repository for the popular Nintendo Switch emulator, the Ryujinx, has been taken off because gdkchan is taking a buyout from Nintendo. So Nintendo, according to this guy, has not able to DMCA their way through taking down the emulator, has instead offered what the CIA learned a long time ago is more effective than simply trying to kill people, is to instead offer people a lot of money to stop being a problem. Rip in Perry Perry says, yesterday gdkchan was contacted by Nintendo and offered an agreement to stop working on the project, remove the organization, all related assets that he's in control of. While waiting for confirmation on whether he'd take this agreement, the organization has been removed, so I think it's safe to say what the outcome is. Rather than leave you with only panic and speculation, I decided to write this short message to give some closure. These words are my own. I don't want to speak for anyone else here, so just remember that while reading. Thank you, everyone who has contributed code, documentation, or issue reports in the project. Thank you for all following through in the development. I was able to learn a lot of really neat stuff about games, enjoy them with renewed qualities, and in unique circumstances, blah, blah, blah. So where's the copy? This guy who's like a developer doesn't have a copy of their GitHub, I guess. I don't know. Nintendo is one of the most serial abusers of the DMCA and copyright in general. And it's important to realize that the two countries that forefront copyright infringement as a matter of course are Germany and Japan. They have a unique alliance in our modern day era. Not to split up the old world into the Western and Eastern spheres, but now instead to abuse the fuck out of copyright. Germany and Japan have criminal copyright infringement, so if you infringe copyright in those countries, it is not a civil matter where you are sued, it is a criminal matter where you go to jail. And indeed, many people have gone to jail for copyright infringement in those countries. Japan, especially Nintendo gets a lot of passes on stuff, but it should not. Nintendo is a toy company making toys for children. You should hate them. Their abuse of the DMCA is not warranted. Their belief that they have a universal right to display information on a screen is fucking preposterous. Emulating and piracy in general is morally righteous in all cases. So if you want to know what's going on, corporations have so much fucking money these days that they can just pay people to stop working on stuff. Next, 4chan. This was a thing brought up to my attention, and it turns out that 4chan has edited their automatic filter policy to eliminate posts silently without notice that contain a specific combination of words. So when I say silently, I mean it will accept your post, it will say that your post has gone through, but it will not display your post, not even to you. Now, what posts are being filtered out on what boards? Any post on any board, safe for work or not safe for work, including poll, that contains 4 or more permutations of the N-word, the T slur, or the F slur. Now, how do I demonstrate what this means? A lot of people, I thought that was pretty clear. More than 3, I think that's pretty obvious, because people then just post them on poll and say, look, I didn't get deleted. Like, they'll post, there's 3 words, and you have to say it more than 3 times. So they'll post all 3 words and then say, look, it didn't get deleted, because they can't read and they can't do math and are mentally stunted, which is why they post on 4chan. So I would like to give you a demonstration of what 4 means, the number 4. We're going to use Hitler so that we can reach them kids who post on poll so they can understand this better. You ready? This is okay.
Nigga.
This is not okay.
Nigga, was all das denn?
That is 4. There is 4 of them. Therefore, that post would be deleted. Do we understand? Have we determined what is the maximum number? Okay. Very frustrating. It's very weird, because it's like when I write like a tweet or something, I try to be as concise and accurate as possible in my language, because it's a limited platform. And then people are still confused. So I don't know. A lot of people were panicking that I should shut off registrations or some shit, but I don't think enough people. I think if you're still on 4chan, your addiction to black cock is so insatiable that you could never go to any other platform, including Zitter and maybe Reddit, but that's about it. I don't think you can actually integrate into any other society. They get you by the balls at that point. God, my throat really hurts. Maybe I should just watch a movie and we'll comment on it every so often instead of doing a video. Let's talk about North Carolina. This was requested several times, and I've not mentioned it because I didn't have a clear picture. The first thing that came to my mind when I was looking into this was, how the fuck does a mountain flood? Mountain, tall, high up, slopes, water, runs off slopes, into ocean, far away from mountain. How does this happen? Well, the Weather Channel has published a video, which I'll play for you because I think it explains it pretty well.
Why was Hurricane Helene so devastating in western North Carolina when it's over 350 miles away from the landfall? Well, look what fell before Helene even got there. This predecessor rain event soaked the entire southeast before the rains from Helene even arrived. Also, look at the eastern side of the storm. A significant amount of very heavy rain fell on the eastern side of the track, so it was that predecessor rain event plus the rains from Helene that led to the damage that we saw. But the key to understanding this system is with the Appalachian Mountains. The terrain here played a significant role. As you take that tropical, moisture-laden air mass and you move it across the Appalachians, it has to be lifted, and it squeezes out a lot of the moisture. Unfortunately, with the saturated ground, it has nowhere to go but down, and led to the landslides and flash flooding that we saw across parts of North Carolina. Keep in mind that 2 feet of rain that fell would be significant for any community, but add to that the elevation that exists across parts of western North Carolina, and this is why the disaster unfolded.
Thank you, Weather Channel. I thought that was actually a really good video. Congratulations. Weather Channel, relevant for the first time since the 2000s. So, here is the issue with the emergency response. Day 1, all hell breaks loose. Private people do what they can. You have independently ran private people going out in search and rescue missions, people who own helicopters, like scooping people off the roofs, people coming up to the communities with whatever they have in stock, people with their boats deployed looking for bodies, that kind of thing. Then the state's National Guards respond. I think every state in the area, I think any state that touches the mountain sent people. I think everybody from New York to Ohio to West Virginia to Virginia, they all sent their National Guards in to try and do some operations. There is a National Guard base nearby that was never given permission. I think that was in Georgia, and that was the same base that was deployed to Katrina in Nolens when that happened, and they were never given permission. I think even to this day, they have not been given permission to do anything. So they're like, it's the National Guard. They don't really have too much to do. So they're just sitting there like, watching people die. And they're like, well, we have helicopters and boats and all sorts of caravans for supplies, and we're just waiting for Biden to say something, and they're just like still waiting. So that's one of the frustrations. The other frustration is that, well, actually, I didn't prepare for this well enough, so let me find this real quick. So, I'm not going to be able to find this unless I just go directly to X. The current leader of FEMA, if you remember during Katrina, it was Brownie, and he's the guy that did a heck of a job. Currently, the leader of FEMA is a homosexual. And he and his gay partner has adopted 2 boys. And by adopted, I mean bought. And there's literally a picture of this guy breastfeeding. But he has like this giant, like ridiculous sex toy thing. And he's like breastfeeding his kids. I hope I'm correct when I say that, because I'm kind of familiar. The guy that runs FEMA. I'm trying to find it. If you guys know what I'm talking about, I might have to search around the thread real quick. But he's like gay, I'm pretty sure, and he's telling people not to send in help. And then there was this. Apparently, the FEMA used $1 billion of disaster funds to provide emergency housing for immigrants that had illegally crossed into the country. And now with $1 billion spent towards hotels for people who shouldn't even fucking be here, they're now saying that FEMA does not have enough money to actually fund through the hurricane season. So they're crying for funds when they're spending their funds on immigrants. Then, this is more about the funding. FEMA has been using FEMA funds to house illegal immigrants all over the country through its presidency. So this is Shelter and Services Program for Immigrants. Round 1, $275 million. Round 2, $40 million. And then total $300 million. And then SSPC, $340 million. And that's just round 1. I think there's more to it that adds up to over $1 billion. I had been hearing reports that FEMA had shut down like any kind of private help. So if you wanted to fly a drone to look for bodies, if you wanted to fly a helicopter to get people off their roofs, if you were bringing supplies in on your own unannounced, you would be turned away. And that is kind of accurate. But this guy, and he has a swastika in his avatar, so you know that he's trustworthy. He says that he worked for Ohio, and to summarize his post, since FEMA has taken over, they now require people to check in and before they arrive to the disaster zone, and you have to declare what you're bringing. And the reason why they're doing this, according to him, is that they are receiving way too much supply of some things they can't use and don't know how to deliver and don't have a place to store. They're receiving tons of spoiled food. People are emptying out their pantry and giving them food that expired 10 years ago that nobody can eat. And then also there's looters. So people of specific dispositions are traveling to the affected area to try and loot the houses that have become uninhabited and uninhabitable due to the floods to try and find shit. So they're trying to reduce the presence of people in general just to make sure that there's no swarthy folks going for a metal detector run in the foundations of people's homes. So he confirms that there is blockages happening as a result of FEMA taking over the disaster relief, but he says that it's actually a beneficial thing to the actual residents because they were getting overwhelmed by a combination of looters, garbage donations, and inadequate management. Because it's just like, when the disaster hits and you have people standing on the roofs and shit, like whatever you can get helps. But a week out, you need underwear, and that a lot of people don't think about that. But like, everyone thinks about food, but what you really need is water and sanitary products and socks and underwear. Because you have people that can't bathe, don't have any pipes, don't have any sewage, and the food is obvious because everybody needs food, but nobody thinks about like underwear. So that's That's what he says. Yeah, clean socks, dude. When Chris Chan burned down his house, one of the first things I did because I bought him stuff, I was in charge of spending about $1,000 on like relief stuff for him after he burned down his house. And one of the things that I bought him was gold toe socks because I really like the gold toe socks. But I bought him socks because when my house burned down, um, you kind of think of like a dilapidated house, right? But what you don't account for is that when the fire department arrives and floods your house full of water, they've left and the fire is put out, you often have a house that has a roof still, and then you don't have and then the inside is just full of ash. It's like a mud of like burned plastic ash and water. And you can walk around this in like your nicest boots or like sneakers. Your feet will be absolutely soaked with like a black, dusty charcoal mud that reeks. It's the most disgusting smell in the world, the smell of a burned house because of all the plastic in it. So when he burned down his house, I sent him socks because every sock that I took into the house had to be thrown out because it was unsalvageable. And I imagine it's much the same. There's less smoke, but you're walking around in floodwaters. Your socks are gonna be ruined by all the mud and shit. So that's the two sides of this. Is a lot of people are complaining and saying that the faggot that runs FEMA and who spent all the money on immigrants now doesn't have enough money for the actual relief effort and is turning away people who are trying to help, which I can believe. And then I can also believe that people are fucking stupid and are sending in a bunch of shit and are effectively obstructing any kind of managed relief effort through their presence and lack of usefulness. That's also true. Because you have a lot of people with like hero syndromes that like don't know what they're doing but just want to be there so they can say that they were or so that they can complain that they did better. Because I remember there was a popular story in conservative circles way back when. I think it was during when Trump was getting elected the first time. A story had broken out that a city council, I think in Oregon or something, was trying to build stairs for like a public park. And it took them way too long to resolve how they were going to build these stairs. So a base conservatard came over and just built stairs on public property without anyone's consent. And I remember when they posted pictures of this and said, look at what the private citizen can do that the government can't. And I remember that these stairs look shit. I don't know how to describe it. It was like each step was like more than 6 inches above the other. So there's like 4 steps in total. And there was no way that like a child would be able to traverse these steps. And there was no handicap way to traverse these steps. And then there was also no front-facing plate for the steps. So you could like kick your shoe under it and trip because they're so high up and there's nothing stopping you from doing that. So I remember looking at those and thinking, wow, these look kind of shitty. So yeah, on one hand, government bad and evil. On the other hand, I think people really overestimate their own capacity for being able to do things. It was a steep slope in all caps. I'm gonna pull up these fucking stairs then. Give me a sec. I'm gonna show you how fucking stupid these fucking steps were. Trump. The Donald. Private builds steps city can't. I think I can find these. Aha! I found it right away. There we go. Look at this. Oh, it's in Toronto. It's not even American. Look at these steps. Look at this shit. Would you be happy with this? Would you be like, oh, those are great? Like, no, those suck. I'm sorry. I'm not going to hail that as like the small guy triumphing over the government. Look at those steps. They suck ass. Seen worse. Those are great stairs. Shut the fuck up. They aren't even leveled. Those stairs are fine. Death trap. Peon work. Nah. Those look bad. Yes. Okay, look. People are sharply divided over the step issue. Toronto was so annoyed by this. They literally tore down the steps, and then I think they replaced them with like concrete steps after the fact. Hold on, let me see if this Oh, the city said that it would cost $65,000 to build the actual steps, which is why he got pissed off and built these, because he just went to Home Depot and bought like $100 worth of yellow wood. And no, I can't see it because they did come by and they did eventually tear them up. And oh wait, no, aha, I found it. These are the steps that the city put in. Look at that. That's much better. I think that they don't need a handicap ramp because you can just like go around it, or there's like a little slope there. And then this costs $10,000 instead of 65, so they came in under budget. I'm just saying those steps look fucking bad. Okay, it's not the same at all. They're concrete. They're leveled out way better. They're even. You can't kick your foot under and trip because you know the tip of your shoe got stuck under the bottom of the step above. It's way better. It even has little handicap rails that aren't like bizarre death traps. Okay, I like them. Lawsuit incoming. Anyways, so the grifters are abound, and the grifter signal has been lit in the skies above Asheville, North Carolina, and Ethan Ralph is on the way. I wonder, he says, I wonder if there's any interest in a Halloween charity stream. So Ethan Ralph, the king of charity streams, a man who got banned from every platform in the entire world for having a Holocaust denial debate for St. Jude, has come to the rescue of the poor people of North Carolina and intends to stream for their benefit, chat. I'm sure that will go just well, just swimmingly. And the money won't be spent on Tijuana prostitutes, which seems to be his new vice. And, from what I understand, people can get addicted to seeing prostitutes, so I wonder if he's trying to wean himself off of his pills and booze, because he can't stream as much, and he's just going to spend all that cash on whores, and that's his new vice. I'm sure he does all three, but probably more so in moderation now. So, there's that. Okay, and for the merch run update, the reason why I always stress that you got to get your order in immediately is that I never know how quickly I will be banned from any platform. So Square terminated me, and I can show you their letter actually from the that they sent me, because there's no information on it, and it's just bullshit. So this is the letter. You ready? Here's the bounty of information that it says. I guess I'm not going to be able to fucking show this to you in full version. Hello, Joshua. We recently reviewed your account and unfortunately found activity that violates our terms of service, including, but not limited to, the following. The Section 3 of their general terms, which is prohibited businesses. There is absolutely nothing about my merchandise that's prohibited in any way. And Section 3 of payment terms. I don't know what the fuck that means. He says, we're very sorry to inform you that due to this activity, your account is now deactivated, and we will no longer accept payments related to your business. I got all the money and had just closed out the store when they did it, so I didn't lose anything, and they've already paid out everything, but I'm so irritated by this. And I called them, and I called their support, and there was a guy called, like, Juan Gonzalez or something. He's like, hello, oh, Dios mío, we're so sorry to hear that your account's been terminated. We sent you an email with the reasons why. And I was like, you know, I was trying to be nice, and I was like, yeah, I'd like to speak to your risk team. Just so I could get like a more clear information. And they just said, I refer you to the email that we sent you that has the information. It's like, oh, well, the email doesn't really say what happened, so I'd like to speak to your risk team. And eventually he clarified that it's called account services. And he says, oh, I don't have any more information for you. What you see in your email is what's available to me. And I was like, okay, well, I want to talk to your account services. And it's like, well, the decision is final. We will not be able to appeal it. Your account will not be reinstated. I'm like, okay, well, I still want to talk to your account services. And like, unfortunately, the decision is final. And this is literally how this conversation went. I wish I recorded it. And he refused to hang up on me, so I just kept saying, "Oh, that's fine, but I still want to talk to your account services." And he's like, "Well, the decision is final." "Oh, that's okay. I'm not appealing it. I just want some more information." "Unfortunately, we can't do that because the information you have is what's available to us." I'm like, "Oh, it's available to you, but I'm sure account services have some more information." He's like, "Well, unfortunately, the decision is final." "Oh, that's okay if it's final. I just want more information. The information that you see is what we have on not to account services. If you just forward me to account services." "Unfortunately, I cannot do that. The decision is final." And I just did this literally for 20 fucking minutes until he says, "Sir, this conversation is not very productive and we're not getting anywhere." And I just kept interrupting. I was like, "Oh, that's fine, but if you forward me to account services." And I just continue to fucking do this over and over again until he hangs up. And then I think he wanted me to hang up first because at the end it says, "How satisfied are you with this call?" So I just gave him one straight across the board. And I hope that ruined his fucking day. In fact, I might continue to call back and do this until I'm afforded to account services. Afterwards, I printed out this letter, which is bereft of any fucking information. And I have written 11 letters. One to their account services team. I wrote a letter and sent it custody of account services to Block Inc. in California. And I sent 4 to 4 different reps in one state, 3 to 3 different reps in Florida, 1 to the Office of the Controller of Currency, 1 to the FTC, and 1 to Josh Hawley in Missouri, because he's a senator there, and apparently he doesn't like the businesses. So, and I enjoyed it, and I found this cathartic, and I thought I would like to do this more often, and I would like to piss in more people's cereal. So I've talked about starting a charity in the past, but the thing is that charities are prohibited from doing what I've done. A charity cannot write a senator to lobby for legislation. A 501c4 can. A 501c4 is kind of like a catch-all society, private interest. APAC, for instance, is a 501c4. And it's kind of a weird structure. Half of the charity must be dedicated to a charitable purpose. And the main downside of a 501c4 versus a 501c3 is that donations to a charity are not tax deductible if they're a 501c4. I still want to move ahead with a charity, but I also want to lobby people. So I'm thinking about it. I've been thinking about it for so long, and I really wanted to set up a 501c3 because I think people would donate a lot more if it was like a tax deductible item, but I don't know. I might do, you do with this all the time, you write your senator, really? I didn't realize people still did that. But I was thinking about it because, like, for instance, that fair access rule, I went through and I read the public comments for the fair access rule that the OCC passed and then got rid of. And they received in total 6,000 public comments. 6,000 public comments decided whether or not the United States of America would have an important piece of regulatory oversight compelling financial institutions to treat people equitably and not blacklist entire financial sectors. And I'm thinking, people are like so eyes shut. I bet you even a small number of people can annoy the fuck out of government. And it's really motivating to me to know that. And what's really pissed me off about the OCC thing, I think I talked about this months ago, is that all the comments in support of the rule were like gun associations, like the NRA, small gun shops, and then all the ones in opposition were climatological. They were all like, we need banks, payment processors, and Visa card to decide who can and can't process money in the United States because they blacklist evil fossil fuel industries. And that was prevailing. In fact, the OCC was so influenced by this change of policy that after Biden got into office, the OCC hired this absolute swamp monster, degenerate Asian woman from New York to become their chief climatological risk officer. the most important regulatory body for the money of our country has a climatological risk factor so that we can make financial decisions that impact climate change. That's how fucking, and that's like that is like an open sore on our ass that exists solely to make sure that the government is less logical and efficient. That exists solely to annoy the fuck out of us. So I tried to throw together like a idea of how I want the logo to look. I'm still kicking it around. I need like an actual logo guy because this is AI generated, the actual boulder, and I have a better idea of how I want this to look. And I'm talking about that in the Math Internet thread. But I searched for literal hours to find a font. Literal hours to find the font, and I love this font. And I'm working on the spacing, but I really like this font. I might change the top font a little bit, but this is pretty close to what I have in my head. So I will start this. I want to start this in 2025. I'm really thinking about it. I will probably force Hardin to become our chief legal officer. But to start a 501c3, as I mentioned before, we need 3 people. So I might need 2 more if Hardin refuses, which he might, because I haven't even spoken to him about this, but I will probably force him. I'll guilt trip him. And then I need like a 3rd person, and I'm considering I should probably get somebody from near DC so that they can actually go out and do things for me in the district. And I have an idea of one person who might be near DC, but I don't know anybody else who like lives like an hour away tops from DC who can go there to annoy people for me. What is the font? It's a trade secret. It's a nice font though, isn't it? So my thought is that the goal would be 3 things: to rein in copyright, to provide common carrier limitations to ISPs, including private like business host, and then also regulate in the same sense payment processors and payment network. That's a very simple, basic outline that I think is achievable, chat. I think that that's achievable. We'll see. That's my plan. I'm very annoyed. Okay, next. You live 30 minutes from... Look, if you actually live near DC, are willing to travel to DC, and especially if you are someone who has worked in nonprofits, either 501c3s or 501c4s, and you want a board member position, and you have like experience to make that not a retarded decision on my part, get into contact. Send me your resume. There's one guy that says that he did lobbying for, or did work with a nonprofit out of DC, but he hasn't sent me his resume yet. You have to send me your resume. Serious job. Yeah, the Kiwi seal for a Rumble was pretty good. Though I forgot who did that. So here's my issue is that I get this volunteer work every so often, and then I completely lose track of who submitted stuff. So, like for instance, the guy that did the Slobber Mutt T-shirt from way back when, I lost that artist. I tried getting into contact with any email I could find of his, and he didn't respond. So, I need to keep like a black book of people I can rely on for shit. And non-retard. More than you think. Okay. Okay. This guy. This guy is like a baby fur. Um, and he disappeared. And there was a thought that he was arrested for child pornography. And they found his name was Chubbs Bear, and he had like this little baby furry thing that he showed up with all the time. And they found out that he was in jail for 90 days with 3 years probation. I believe for... Oh, that's weird. He's a furry, He's like a cub fur, and he's in a court called Paw Paw. Like that's the name of the. That's the name of it. It doesn't say what his offense is. What the fuck is the point of the sex offender registry? It doesn't say like he's a diddler or something. No, sexual conduct in the fourth degree, victim between 13 and 15. Which is a person guilty of sexual conduct in the fourth degree if the person engages in sexual contact with another person and if any of the following circumstances exist. The other person is at least 13 years of age but less than 16, and the actor is 5 or more years than the other person. So he got caught. I assume he's young, in his early 20s. He got caught with like a middle schooler, so they send him to jail. And now he's out. He's on probation. Similarly, this guy is Sean Patrick, not to be confused with Patrick S. Tomlinson. Sean Patrick Kraese is Quantum Kitty. And he did a show called Zooier Than Thou. And I think that this briefly was like a thing that people talked about. Because there was the Kiro the Wolf stuff. And when that happened, a bunch of very high-profile animal people suddenly became a popular interest in the forum. And I think that Medicare talked about it. Because remember, after Kiro the Wolf got outed, there was that big, fat, soft Chris Evans-looking guy that came out and defended Kiro. And he did that thing where he like stuttered out the line, "That damn Kiwi Farms," like that. That was really funny. And then Zooier Than Thou is a kind of adjacent podcast that was defending Kiro, and they defend human-animal relations in general. And they were just kind of fucking gross, but they weren't interesting enough to follow full time. Well, Toggle, who was the rat guy on the podcast, I think he lives in Maryland. I don't want to say that. For some reason that sticks out to me. Leonardtown, Maryland. How did I remember that he was in Maryland? I think that he got doxxed at some point, and I talked about it. But he was in Leonardtown, Maryland, and he was arrested for. When he got arrested, we found out too, because I think what happened is he talked about having sex with animals. He did the Zooier Than Thou podcast. Somebody doxxed him and reported him to the police. He was arrested. I remember this very clearly for some reason. I remember that his parents and family immediately distanced themselves from him, and he just got sentenced. And I'll read the article. This is the Southern Maryland News Net. It says, update, Piney Point man sentenced to 7 years in prison after admitting to performing sexual acts on his dog. Sean Patrick Kraese. Oh, it was Kraese. I thought Quantum Kitty was the other guy. He looks just like the Rich Evans guy. It's not the same person, is it? I thought this was a different guy. No, he just looks like him. He looks exactly... Dude, he looks fucking dead ringer to this guy. Oh, this is a very risky scroll. Yeah, it's definitely not the Blue Dragon guy. This is just a guy that looks exactly like the Blue Dragon guy. It's the dog fucker phenotype, I guess. Convicted multiple counts of animal cruelty and obscene material charges related to performing sexual acts on his pet dog. For this charge of obscene material publishing and distributing, he received a 1-year jail sentence. The second charge of obscene material with intent to distribute was merged with the first. In addition, Kraese was sentenced to 3 years in jail for each of the 2 charges of aggravated cruelty to animal. The sentences are to be served consecutively, amounting to a total of 7 years in jail. It was recommended that Kraese be sentenced to Patuxent Institution for his incarceration. Patuxent Institution is a unique facility that serves as a maximum security correctional institution for both male and female offenders. It focuses on rehabilitation and offers various treatment programs, emphasizing the management of inmates with mental health issues or those considered dangerous. Fascinating. So, that is the update on the zoo people. There's a thing that's kind of building up that I want to talk about, but the guys that did it completely fucked up, and I'm pissed at them. And I'm waiting on that to settle before I talk about it. So instead, let's talk about something much, much easier and much funnier. Taylor Lorenz, one of the worst journalists to ever fucking exist, and that's saying a lot. A woman who cries about doxing, but then docs lived a TikTok and her entire family, and then physically showed up to their front doors. A woman who cried about the Kiwi farms and said that we drove people to suicide, despite the fact that if we did anything even close to what Taylor Lorenz did to live a TikTok, we would be blotted out of existence. I would be arrested. It would be the end of everything. She walked away with it, no problem. But she was finally removed from her position as a Washington Post journalist. Was it for saying dumb shit about avocado toast? No. Was it for helping a drug addict fundraise 100,000 Canadian dollars by lying about a legal U.S. company? No. Was it for doxing lived a TikTok and showing up at her family's house? No. It was for calling Joe Biden a war criminal. She took a pro-Palestine stance, which of course upset the true owners of the Washington Post. And a investigation was launched into her claims that Joe Biden was a war criminal due to his aid for Israel. And a mere, 70 days later, she was let go from the Washington Post. I think not even 70 days. I think it was 45 or something. So she crossed the line. She did the one thing that she's not, the thin blue line that separates society from total chaos and peace and tranquility like we enjoy. And she was fired as a result. She promptly decided that she was going to launch her own Substack called User Mag. And she says, personal news, I'm going independent and launching my own media outlet on Substack called User Mag. Please consider buying a yearly subscription to help me continuing my work. Her own supporters demonize this decision. It's $70, by the way, for an annual subscription. And there was a screenshot that I don't have. And those are just people making fun of her. There's a series of her supporters in the reply saying that they can't support her in good conscience because the money would go to Substack. And Substack, of course, is a Nazi profile because they allow people like me to publish articles about how Liz Fong Jones is a terrorist. So therefore, they can't support her. So I guess that cancel culture fucking purity spiral is really working out for her. She can't even get money in the one platform that would take her, which is a open platform to everybody, because her own supporters hate the fact that that platform is open to everybody. So I guess you could say you get what you fucking deserve. But before we celebrate, chat, there's actually a body of work related to her leaving that I want to read through, that I haven't really read through, that we may find entertaining. So let's start with this. Her first post to the User Mag says, introducing User Magazine, why I'm leaving legacy media to pursue independent journalism. One of the things about her departure is that she does not say she was fired. She says that she's leaving legacy journalism to pursue independent journalism for the purity of the journalism, which is a very nice way of her saying that she was fucking fired. She says, today, I'm excited to launch my new publication, User Magazine, on Substack, under which I will pursue the type of reporting that on the lowercase I, first sentence, first publication, F fucking minus. Which internet are you going to be reporting on, Taylor? Are you going to be reporting on the DPRK's internet? Are you going to be reporting on China's internet? Or what about Russia's internet? Are you going to be talking about the EU's internet? Or what about DARPA? No? Oh, you mean the internet? That one. That's the one you're going to be reporting on. Okay, I got you. Which has become increasingly difficult to do in corporate media. We now live in a world where politicians can post their way into office, memes fuel our stock market, and online culture and mainstream culture are so deeply intertwined that it's impossible to tell where one ends and the other begins. User Mag is founded on the belief that the real story of technology lies with its users. Instead of focusing on corporate earnings, and mainstream culture are so deeply intertwined that it's impossible to tell where one ends and the other begins. User Magazine is founded on the belief that the real story of technology lies with its users, instead of focusing on corporate... I already read that. I read that exact same sentence. I'll move to the next one, then. I will be reporting on what people and movements that are steering technology and lowercase I internet culture, from weird online phenomena to under-the-radar trends to content creator, platform developments, policy initiatives, and the powerful forces that shape our online world. It's about who has power on the lowercase I internet and how that power is being wielded. Bitch! That's my fucking show. You think the the users on the internet, the new podcast by Taylor Lorenz, talking about weird online phenomena, under the radar trends, content creators, platform developments, policies, and the powerful forces that shape our. Yeah, she's just trying to steal my fucking shtick, chat. She's gonna be talking about Boogie 2998 here shortly. User Mag will arrive via email 1 to 3 times a week, and paid subscribers will have commenting privileges, access to subscriber-only chats, and will receive exclusive deep dive analysis pieces, among other benefits. I think you could get these same benefits from an OnlyFans. That doesn't really sound like a journo access thing. It will include a mix of originally reported articles, interviews, and links to what I'm reading and watching online. Oh boy. Her reading list. How exciting. Of course, I'll still be doing my weekly tech and online culture news podcast, Powered User, available to all platforms. If you're a brand that would like to advertise on my podcast or collaborate in any way, please reach out to usermag.co. By the way, I received my first book offer. Someone randomly emailed me a book offer saying, do you want a hard copy of a book about, I think it was bias and how we read statistics. So that when you read a statistic about how black men rape like 1,000 times more often than white men, despite the difference in population, I need to relearn how my cognitive biases interpret those facts literally instead of through the adjudicating and adjustment lens that's required to understand such big numbers. I said yes, by the way. I don't think I'll get it. When I started my career as an independent blogger, my goal was to provide a counter-narrative to the technology and online culture coverage I was seeing in the mainstream media. Many traditional journalists at the time sneered at bloggers, dismissed online fandoms, ignored the now nearly $500 billion content creator industry, and failed to recognize the ways in which the lowercase I internet was upending our culture, economy, and political system. As digital media rose, many of us early bloggers and content creators were scooped up by old institutions. Okay, here's the real content here. Finally, this journalist breaking into 2024 as a 50-something-year-old woman about to write hard-hitting lowercase I internet pieces cuts to the quick about the issues people really care about. She says, take, for example, Gamergate, which started almost exactly 10 years ago in August 2014, a watershed moment that revealed exactly how little the traditional media understood about online culture. In the decades since, the legacy media has ignored every single major lesson that could have been learned about the lowercase I internet's capacity for mass mobilization and the way bad actors warp public discourse and weaponize the media itself. Boring. I'm going to skip to the end. Unfortunately, I'm not independently wealthy. I have to pay rent, living expenses, and significant medical costs. She got celiac disease. She always sharting. Help. My adult diapers aren't covered by Medicaid. Help me. I got celiacs. I'm also incurring significant costs associated with operating independently, including business and software fees, paying for things like design work, editing support, subscription to research materials, lowercase I internet costs, equipment, and more. I have zero investors or corporate backing. You know, it's a bad sign when my ass has more health than yours, Taylor. Maybe you suck. Okay, let's watch our stupid fucking video. There's a part that I'll skip to if it sucks.
Hi, I'm Taylor Lorenz, and you might know me from my best-selling book, Extremely Online, which covers the rise of the content creator.
I'm actually really shocked that she sounds like such a Southern California Valley girl. I expected something a little bit different, I guess. Extremely Online, the untold story of fame, influence, and power on the... I mean, that might be lowercase I. It's hard to tell because it's all small caps.
industry, or my work covering
Also,
tech and online.
really, really good font choice for that. I just want to nitpick this. If I was writing a book and I wanted to impress people with a bold font choice, I would definitely pick Impact, the cat meme font.
Out there. But today, I'm excited to announce that I'm leaving Legacy Media to launch my own new publication on Substack called User Magazine. Under User Mag, I'll be pursuing the type of reporting on the internet that has become increasingly difficult to do in corporate media. User Mag will cover technology from the user side. It's about who has power on the internet and how that power is being wielded. I'll be reporting on the people and movements that steer internet.
Do I have power, chat? Unlimited power! That's me. I want to see Taylor Lorenz's hit piece about how once I start my 501c4 and we march on DC, she'll be writing about me. She'll be the only independent journalist taking the Kiwi farm seriously.
From weird online phenomena to under-the-radar trends to platform developments to the powerful forces shaping our online world. I hope you'll consider buying a yearly subscription to User Mag to help me continue my work. The link is below and in my bio. I'll still be hosting my weekly tech news podcast called Power User, available on all podcast platforms and YouTube, and I'll be ramping up my long-form videos on YouTube as well. But I want to talk about why I'm leaving Legacy Media and choosing to return to independent journalism. When I started my career as an
fired. Because you were fired. Because you said Joe Biden should not be giving money to Israel.
Independent blogger 15 years ago, I had no background in journalism. I was a recent college grad. It was a big recession. I was working retail, temp jobs. I worked at a call center, and I began to build an audience on the internet.
Dude, if you have a headset on, especially when it's higher quality, you might be able to hear this. There is a sound in the back of her room, and I don't know how to describe it. It kind of sounds like if you took a coat hanger, like a metal coat hanger, and just dragged it along like the concrete of a warehouse, you would get this effect. And I don't know what the fuck's wrong with her mic, but it sounds like that.
I did not go to some fancy journalism school. I did not have industry connections, and I really didn't know that much about traditional news media and how it worked. But I did know they were getting one big story very, very wrong. As somebody who spent a lot of time...
I definitely, when I listen to a podcast, I want somebody who lives in a construction site and you can hear the angle grinder of the next door neighbor throughout the entire podcast.
And in early communities on Tumblr and early YouTube, I was so frustrated by the way traditional media was covering the internet. Traditional media smeared at bloggers, they dismissed online fandoms, they ignored the now nearly $500 billion content creator industry, they mocked
what the fuck? Dude, I figured out what it is. That sound? She's in a coffee shop. She's recording this in a coffee shop. I could hear the steam thing from the coffee machine, the espresso machine. I remember those sounds from when I worked in a coffee shop and when I did my programming job. She's sitting in a coffee shop recording this, and you can hear them making cappuccinos in the background.
That women were building online, and they just basically fundamentally were unable to grasp how the internet was upending our culture, economy, and entire political system. Literally just last week on Instagram Threads, traditional journalists were arguing if internet culture reporting is real journalism in the year 2024. Anyway, so I started writing my own stories to provide a counter narrative to the type of coverage that I was seeing in the mainstream media. As digital media arose in the 2010s, a lot of us early bloggers and content creators were scooped up by these old school institutions that, to be honest, kind of previously looked down on us.
I mean, that's called making it. Like, if you're just a blogger and then you get hired by the fucking, like Washington Post, you made it. You started your own career. You skipped through all the nepotistic, like, dick sucking that you have to go through in journalism school to get a job. The kind of shit that Ralph would never be able to do. And you skipped right to the good part, having a company 9 to 5 where you just fucking grind, you know? As long as you don't go on social media and fuck it up by being a retard, you got your next 20 years planned out for you. That's making it, bro.
Legacy media tried desperately to position itself as a credible source for online culture news. But for all their power and prestige, I would argue they have proven themselves fundamentally unable to cover today's chaotic, contentious, fast-paced, and highly nuanced online media landscape. There are so many internet and online
Taylor
culture
Lorenz
stories.
Can. She's mastered this. How is she verified with 20,000? That's fucking, dude, they're such nepotistic fucks in California. We need a judo chop. California up into 6 pieces. The 6 Californias. We need it more than ever. 8,000 views. And let's take a look here. It's our last videos. Why every online store sells the same crappy products. because people selling products will put their product on multiple platforms so that they get sold, regardless of where the customer is. And there's no reason not to do that. Why Instagram Reels so unhinged? Brazil's ban on X for 9/11 for Stan accounts. What? Can Elon and Twitter save Trump? My smartphone freak out is harming children. Is Skibbity Toilet the next Hollywood blockbuster? 40 minutes! 40 fucking minutes on Skibbity Toilet! Okay, we'll watch that one next.
That the traditional media has failed to cover well. I was thinking of Gamergate recently because it started almost 10 years ago exactly, in August 2014, and it became this
10 years ago, bitch! It's been a fucking decade! Half the population of planet fucking Earth wasn't alive when Gamergate happened. What the fuck are you talking about?
Shed moment in online culture. And it really revealed just how little traditional media understood the dynamics of the internet. The traditional press struggled to cover this story, not because they didn't have the resources, but because they fundamentally failed to understand online culture. And I would argue they still don't. There's a reason that some of the biggest internet culture stories today, from crypto scams to bad behavior from YouTube's biggest stars to thoughtful cultural commentary about online niches, comes from content creators, not the traditional media. And I don't think that's a failure or reflection on the many brilliant and amazing journalists still working in the traditional world. Literally every tech reporter I've worked with has been so amazing and brilliant, and there are so many talented...
Somebody back there is putting that cream on the top of the latte, so in a little flour.
That culture reporters who have been laid off because the business model of legacy media is so fundamentally broken. There's also a lot of really amazing editors at certain places that get it. But we now...
I think that the issue is that old publications are just catering to a different audience. Like, boomers and millennials don't care about Mr. Beast. They have no fucking idea who Mr. Beast is, and therefore they have no inclination to post articles about fucking Mr. Beast. They care about shit like the EU, a trade deal between the United States and the UAE regarding oil, taxes, things that most people don't give a fuck about, because it's like, who gives a shit? I can't even possibly feign interest in the Sudanese civil war and how the evil Russian influence is about trying to get gold from Sudan so that Russia can use Sudanese gold to bypass trade restrictions and sanctions so that evil Putin can continue with his imperialist conquest of a democratic country. Dun dun dun. But the Washington Post cares about that kind of shit. Most fucking 20-year-olds don't. You know what I mean? It's like a completely different audience.
We live in this world where politicians can post their way into office, where memes fuel the stock market, where the boundaries between mainstream culture and internet culture are so deeply intertwined that it's impossible to tell where one ends and the other begins. The internet isn't just another beat. It's a living, breathing ecosystem that transforms rapidly and unpredictably. The pace, the culture, the very nature of how information spreads online is so fundamentally different than...
Is that she's implying... What I want to do with User Mag is I want to do traditional written journalism about the new era of content creators who are independently successful based purely on where interest naturally fluctuates and gravitates to. But the problem with that proposition is that you're simply saying that you want to become a journalist about an already extant kind of journalism. Like some ordinary gamer types just talking about, the pop culture shit that's happening. That is the journalism. You can't therefore then do an article about some ordinary gamers and then say oh, Mutahar did XYZ and be successful about it. She wants to do it backwards. And what's really, it's kind of weird because it's her position is like a 40-something-year-old woman's position about trying to do what an 18-something-year-old is going to do. Like an 18-year-old who wants to be a content creator is going to look at successful people and try to emulate them and hope that they catch their own flame. And Taylor Lorenz is doing the exact same thing, but from her perspective. Except she's going to bring her journalism credentials to it. And it's like you're starting over from scratch. Like you want to transition from old school mainstream writing journalism to content creator on YouTube in the same way that an 18-year-old boy at Whataburger is going to try to become a content creator on YouTube by doing video game streams. It's kind of sad when you think about it like that.
Anything that ever came before it. And legacy media in its current form is simply not built to cover this world. These institutions were designed for a different era, where news was slower, more centralized, where a few gatekeepers could control the narrative, where reporters certainly didn't have direct access to their audiences in the same way, and where institutional power prevailed. But the internet has blown all of that up. And as the landscape has evolved, it has become clear to me that the legacy media is no longer the right primary environment for the type of work that I want to do. I've always operated in this weird liminal space where I've been labeled a content creator.
Liminal space? Are you Nick Fuentes? What the fuck are you talking about? My struggle to find a place in the MS is because you're fucking dumb, lady.
Creator, an influencer, as much as a journalist. And the truth is that
dude, I'm so right. She's calling herself a content creator online. Dude, you're gonna be so sad. You just left the Washington Post, and this is the most attention you'll ever get. Like, remember when all those guys left the zero punctuation guy? They all left the Escapist magazine, and they started Second Wind, and there was all that energy, and they're like, finally, we get to do stuff without the creative control of that fucking asshole. We're going to be, creator focused. We're all going to own shares in this company. And they got like hundreds of thousands, millions of views of people like, wow, these guys are still around, and they're fighting the system and shit. And it's like, you can say whatever you want about Second Wind and what happened after they did that, but that's like, if you don't land that first thing, it's a grind. It's a slog. I remember there's a book by the Dilbert guy, Scott Adams, and I read this book. It's called How to Fail at Everything and Still Win Big. And I read through this book, and I think the most prominent thing that I learned from that was his theory that if something doesn't seem to have a lot of positive response and attention when it's launched, it's probably never going to get that. There's like the occasional outlier who like does like a grind and then slowly builds up success. But generally speaking, if something novel is launched and there's no fascination or interest or hype up behind it whatsoever, it doesn't stand a fucking chance. And I think that's really accurate. And if you're launching your big, run at being an independent journalist and you're getting 8,000 views and a smattering of supportive replies on Twitter, you're probably fucked. That's probably your peak. You're probably never going to see more than that.
I've always been both, but the legacy media is not set up for people like me. In today's media environment, these silly distinctions between who's a real content creator or a real journalist are so meaningless. We're all part of the same media ecosystem. We can all have a voice online. And I don't need a job at a 200-year-old institution to reach people, break news, and have an impact on the world. The journalists I'm most inspired by today are those who have taken their voices back into their own hands.
Names.
Independent content creators who challenge powerful institutions and carve out their own space in a crowded media landscape. By going independent, I hope to do more of what I
Why did your jacket open? I thought it was like buttoned, and she was like, let me open this jacket just in case.
love, helping people understand the world around them, inspiring them to build a better internet, exposing online radicalization, holding power
She's wearing a mask outside.
to account, and also just having a lot more fun. I want to do all of this without worrying about some corporate overlord and without the constraints of institutions that at times are more concerned with optics than challenging power. I want to write freely and speak directly to people on YouTube, TikTok.
Is it me? Am I the creator that inspires Taylor Lorenz? Oh my gosh, I can't believe it.
Podcast. I want to run my silly meme pages. I also firmly
Meme pages. It's the easiest gambit in the whole world. You see, when you start your independent news journalism, what you do is you start up the meme page on Facebook. Go around and find a couple cat pics a day, and then upload them to the Taylor Lorenz meme page. And then there will be natural, organic growth, and a couple of these people will become annual subscribers of your user magazine. And then that's how you get them. That's how you get a foundation for your independent journalism. Everybody does it. There's no shame in the cat page. Just start your cat page, your meme page, and you'll make it bigly.
believe that this era of faux neutrality in journalism is over. I will always be upfront and honest about my perspectives and where I'm coming from.
I will be a biased hack. I will admit this to your fucking face. I will I will poison every single thing that I think and do and say and write with my inherent biases, and I won't even try to give people the benefit of the doubt, because why the fuck would I do that? That's not where the money is.
You might disagree with me, and I actually might be wrong some of the time, but I'd rather hear that than pretend that I'm not a human being with certain perspectives on the world. To me, this transparency is the essence of trust in journalism. Unfortunately, I'm not independently wealthy. I have rent to pay, living expenses, significant...
If there's anything in the whole world to sum up my perspectives on life, it's that I, unfortunately, am not independently wealthy. I think that sentiment resonates with a lot of people.
Medical costs. I have 0 investors and no corporate backing. So if you're watching this video, I sincerely hope that you buy a paid subscription to User Magazine to support my work on YouTube and off. The link is in my bio and in the description below. I really want to make most of the work that I do available without a paywall, but I can only do that if I get enough paid subscribers to cover my costs. The internet has given us the tools to tell our own stories, to reach audiences directly, and to build something new. That's what I intend to do, and I hope you'll support me on this journey by sharing this video, smashing the subscribe or follow button, and buying a paid subscription.
Wait, did it do it for her when she said it?
This journey by sharing this video, smashing the subscribe or follow button.
It doesn't. YouTube's like, don't do it. We're not gonna put glitter magic on this fucking subscribe button for Taylor Lorenz. Don't even bother. We know it's shit. We know it's fucking trash. Don't waste your time. Don't waste our bandwidth. Wow. Yeah, that's a terrible pitch. And I think one thing, I didn't mention this during the video, I saved it towards the end. I think one thing that she's really, really underestimating, because she bitches and moans that, oh, the Washington Post kept telling me, Taylor, you're being a deranged cunt again. We can't have psychopaths running around doxing people. It hurts the Washington Post brand. We already look like shit. We're already owned by Jeff Bezos. We already run cover stories for Amazon. But with a whole doxing, especially when a guy's chosen, it's not a good look for us, Taylor. You gotta calm down there. And she's like, oh, hate you, Washington Post. Yes, you pay my bills, but fuck you. Fuck you. What she doesn't realize is that the only reason she had any notoriety whatsoever is that the things that she did carried the attribute, the label of Washington Post journalist. The reason why she can talk to Taylor Lorenz, she was talking about how I had the most fun when I was doing my interview with Chaya Rachik, is like, the reason why these people even fucking talk to you is that you're associated with the Washington Post. You have no clout, you have no reputation, you have no independent anything, any asset whatsoever. You've brought nothing from the Washington Post to an independent medium. So it's not like the Washington Post lost its best financial analyst, a guy who called big crashes and big boons in the stock market, a guy who wrote about a company that was worth $1 and now it's worth $1,000. And he goes out and he starts his independent Financial Times magazine because he had a dispute with his editor in regards to a favorable story about a conservative business, something like that. It's like you have negative reputation. So nobody cares what you have to say. And without the potential of making it into the Washington Post and boosting your own business as a byproduct, you don't have any clout as a journalist to get interviews with people. All you can do is write puff pieces for fucking BreadTube. That's what she's going to end up doing. She's going to be ending up writing puff pieces about that tranny that's a BreadTuber that is like an actor now in those British movies. And she's going to have to try to make a living out that way. Suffer Taylor. By the way, did I even mention that Taylor Lorenz sided with Keffels? And I think, let's see if there's an article. I don't know if she actually wrote a full-blown article about this. Let's see. Taylor Lorenz, Washington Post, and then Kiwi Farm. See if we got something here. Ooh, I'm seeing a couple things. No author attribute. Oh, Joseph. She did. Aw, Taylor. Remember when you wrote this article about Cloudflare and the Kiwi Farms and you called us a bunch of fucking murderers and you published this shit in the Washington Post? And then he wrote this article about libs of TikTok. Did you mention Kiwi Farms in this? Because it shows up. Oh no, it's a related article, I guess. But you remember when he wrote this? He called us murderers, Taylor. I remember this. Oh look, she even did a little TikTokerooski supporting her friend Keffels. Kiwi Farms instigated so many hate campaigns and built a blueprint for online harassment. Hashtag Keffals, hashtag drop Kiwi Farms, hashtag tech, technology, Twitch, online creators, tech news. How many views did this get? Does it tell me? I don't think it says how many views. It says 200 comments though. Wait, no. No, it doesn't say views. That's weird. Give me the voice.
Off their services. If you've never heard of... Let's talk about why it matters that Cloudflare kicked Kiwi Farms off their services. If you've never heard of Kiwi Farms, it's a notorious hate site that people just go to basically organize harassment and doxing campaigns. For the past month, Kiwi Farms has been targeting Keffels, a trans Twitch streamer. She literally had to flee the country for her safety. And there's a really good full rundown if you Google this headline.
Really hard-hitting journalism. Got everything right. Everything right, chat. She really investigated her sources and made sure they weren't lying to her dumb fucking face.
NBC by Kat Tenbarge and Ben Collins. And Washington Post also covered it. The Kiwi Farms is dangerous. Not only has
the Washington Post also covered it? Which Washington Post, Taylor? The one you write for? Are you referring to the article that you fucking co-authored? That one? That Washington Post covered it?
Ruin the lives of countless people. Their whole goal is a world where LGBTQ people are not going to use social media and be out and open online. In a lot of instances, Kiwi Farms' explicit goal is to get their target to kill themselves. They want these people to live in fear. As Keffel said, when a multi-billion-dollar company like Cloudflare has to drop Kiwi Farms because of this imminent threat, it's no longer a matter of free speech, it's a matter of protecting public safety. And if you don't think any of this matters, just know that the tactics that Kiwi Farms pioneers are only going to be used for more and more political purposes as we heat up to the next election.
I wish to fucking God we had the money to sue Matthew Prince in that time. I wish to fucking God I had the money. Fucking liar. Weight of your sins, Matthew. It will crush you over time. That's Taylor Lorenz. Is there anything else after that? No, not really. So, next. TF2. Now, I tried desperately to get a quick rundown about TF2 and this drama. I fed the resources into the Google Notebook LM thing, and it refused to generate a synopsis. Like, straight up, flat out fucking refused to give me an understanding of what the fuck is happening. So I'll just sum it up like this. There's a YouTube creator for Team Fortress 2 called Monkey. And that's the O, that is like the OE in German, like in Motorhead, that's spelled wrong, basically, because you pronounce it different. It's like Monkey. And then Monkey was accused of chatting up a wee lass. And then Monkey came back with his own thing saying, "Nah, I was not chatting up a wee lass." And then he deleted his tweet. Why the fuck do I not have Word installed on this computer? What the fuck am I doing with my life, chat? I thought I really hinged this entire thing on me being able to read a document, and now I'm too retarded to do this. Maybe I can open it in as a PDF. DocX to PDF. Adobe says it can do it. I trust Adobe. So the main funny thing that I saw was that the accuser dropped this document, right? And then the monkey guy that was being accused immediately followed this up within an hour with like a 60, 70 page rebuttal. So it's really impressive that he was able to write such a lengthy reply in such a short amount of time, as if he knew it was coming, and decided that he would head it off and start writing his own response, apparently with foreknowledge of what he would be accused of. Call customer support? The Microsoft customer support. Microsoft. I cannot open a docx file on my computer. My computer is made by Microsoft. Why can I not open my docx file? Okay, this is a PDF. Monkey drama. Hey there, I'm Cal, and this is my experience with a TF2 content creator called Monkey on YouTube. I was 16 and Monkey is 22. That's legal in Florida. No, wait. I think it's 5 years. I think it's 16, 21 is in Florida. Might be 8 even. Let's see. 11 plus 7. Nope, no good. I did not have any real interest in a relationship with him, nor nothing sexual. All I want to do is gather more evidence regarding him and his actions. So you spoke to him in like a sexual manner to get the evidence? It's called entrapment, lady. That's why EDP says we got to do something about them underage girls trying to trap niggas. Because that's entrapment. EDP, did EDP have a point? Oh, I have to sign in to download it. The second PDF I converted. Wow, okay. Cool, awesome. I love the internet. I love it when you accept my fucking document and then convert it to a fucking PDF, and then you're just like, actually, you're gonna have to sign in, fucking retard. I know you're doing a live stream, but why don't you just eat my ass? I'm developed by Pajits in California, so. Oh, it's into my email. No, we won't use 2FA. Send you a fucking email. That would be too easy. Dumb fuck. Suffer, Whitey. Oh, then I get to enter my password. After I give them... Okay. Everybody in the chat, just read what's on my screen for me real quick. And of course, my passwords are 24 letters. Schizophrenic with symbols. Oh, and then my password's incorrect. Cool. Give me a sec, chat. Hey, let me find wallpaper real quick. I know you guys like wallpaper. There we go. This will fill it in real quick. It's really important that I convert this to a PDF so that I can read it for less than a minute. And say that it's fucking gay and retarded. Is that a 0 or an O? Must be an O. I have no idea how this password's not right. Oh, that's the wrong site, of course. That's why it doesn't work. I got you. Yeah, that would make sense if it's the wrong password for a completely different site. How many fucking typos can I have in one goddamn password? Holy shit. I did it. Can I get my fucking PDF now? Look, I've never had to open a docx before on stream, I don't think. Can I please download this? Holy shit! It won't let me download it now. I click it and then it just freaks out on me. I just want to download the PDF. Oh, but then it lets me download the fucking compressed version. And literally, I click the button and it freaks out on me. Like, I just, like, it got possessed. Okay, there we go. So she continues. The documents start. As I started to talk more with him, stuff with me and him got a little concerning. Here he comments about the age gap regarding me and the monkey, since 16 is a legal age on Sweden. But I don't think that's how it really works. It does work. The age of consent is lower in Europe. I'm sorry. I'm such a fucking shit person. I'd love to just be with you and hug you daily. And then the monkey says, you're like the girl of all time. Not gonna lie. That's the fucking Rizzler right there. You know what women like to hear? You're a girl and you exist. Of all time, even. That's damn. You always bring me power. Was she a fucking, like, a gemstone for his infinity gauntlet? Like, you are the woman of all time of power. And the will to do better. I try my hardest and I want to, like, just kiss your lips and pick you up. I know you're just, like, 16, but you're legal here in Sweden and I don't give a fuck. Just learn. Understand me. And you'll soon be 17. Nobody cares if 16 is a legal age in your country. It is still a very concerning and borderline pedophilic age gap. I mean, 8 years. No, not even 6 years. I mean, that's really stretching it in terms of, like, if that's creepy or not. He's not a pedophile, though. Here's him just casually calling me stuff while kissing me and giving me love, even if you were drunk. It can still be sexual harassment. If he thinks that you're in a relationship with him, how is that sexual harassment? More of him saying, moi, hugs, I would squeeze you with many hugs. He doesn't want any minors in his DMs. Damn, big walls of text, bro. So he just wanted to be in a relationship with this person, and she was pretending to be in a relationship with him so that she could call him a pedophile. And she was sending him, like, pictures of the incest girl from that fucking video game. Teasing me to suck his dick. More kisses and love. Oh my god, this guy. You gotta kill him. Kill the monkey. He drank half of a bottle of Elzane. I don't know what that is. That must be Swedish vodka. The gifts. Between these date frames from April, he also sent some money, gifting me TF2 items as gift, which include pricey items that are $70 in value, which is concerning to do specifically to someone that's an underage person. I used to own a collector's sandwich signed by him. Going to my backpack on backpack.tf in the past, you can check the item and clicking who signed on my profile. It will redirect to his real Steam profile. God. The best you could do with this disgusting person is block them. Never engage them with them ever. And never support their content, nor support them financially. Your life is as valuable as a stupid ant to me. It's a bit psycho. I don't like this person. I don't know what it is. I guess it's because she just starts off by saying, yeah, I basically pretended to be in a relationship with him. And in order to get more screenshots of him, like, hitting on me. Monkey says, well, you know, I could just be behind you doing that. You'd be pressed up against me. And she says, only if naked, though. Mleh. Yeah, she's like baiting him so that she can publish this. It's kind of fucking psycho. On the beginning of the 14th of December, this is his rebuttal that I spent 8 minutes trying to get. The name I will not mention because I respect her privacy from the public. She messaged me. I replied and asked how I was. I replied and I said how I felt. I felt drained. She replied that she felt okay. That quickly made me small talk with different topics. She became very caring after a few messages. After more small talk, I told this person what had been going on. She answered the question saying that she was 16. The age of consent in Sweden is 15. But I do not think of doing anything with this, knowing her age. I mean, that's kind of a bullshit lie, though. You clearly wanted to have sex with her. Went to bed. Next day, I replied with her war paint. We chit-chatted about other stuff. She's sending him more Ashley Graves images. She's hitting on him, saying, "You're gonna." Is that a transgender flag? This guy deserves it. Lynch this nigga. He did it. This motherfucker's a pedophile. We gotta cancel him. Abort. Throw him off the bow. Throw him off the bow. Feed him to the sharks. He did it. I can't fucking believe this. Oh, I just wanted a little bit of femboy, Swedish femboy playing around, did you? Well, now you bear the fruit. Now you endure the consequences for your sins, for your sinful life. Suffer. Here's another fuck up. It is late. It is the day before my brother's funeral, and I felt dog shit. She asked me if she could sleep naked with me, and I said, yeah, sure, I guess. It was very late, and I was, dude, just say you went into fucking 16-year-old femboy. That's so embarrassing that he's like, I mean, what I wanted to do was lay with her in bed and feel her feminine penis to prove to me, to prove to everybody that I had reached nirvana and I would never do anything sexual with any underage femboy. I am like Mahatma Gandhi. I have completely abstained from sex, but I sleep with little girls just because I can. Now how it works. Nobody believes that shit except Indians, okay? You understand? Do you understand? Where I gave up. A day afterwards, everything came falling. I talked myself into thinking I could trust this girl and that she was 16, and that was okay. She was legal after all. This is what I told myself. And I trusted her that she would not tell anyone, so I let my past self do this. My past self... my past self from a couple months ago wanted femboy penis, but after this, swearing off the pussy for good. No more drinking vodka for me. A complete 180 of what I said yesterday, but I gave up on everything. Posting pictures of a TikTok cat. First ever I talked explicit, heavily sexual stuff with someone underage. Well, stop saying that, bro. Either adhere to the line that this person is of age and capable of giving sexual consent in your country, and therefore you did nothing wrong, or just say that you're a creepy pedophile. But you can't like what a fucking retard. Second time was the day afterwards. She came to me talking about her dad and what he did. She, however, was in the mood, but I was not, and she proceeded to send me an explicit gif of a girl getting fucked from behind from the guy's perspective. We later shared some more explicit images with "This is us" caption under it. I sent 2 images, which I sadly deleted a couple days later because I realized how fucked up the situation I am. I realized I fucked up. That's what you're trying to say, bro. I'm not okay with this behavior. Since she later followed up with this conversation, asked me for a picture of my penis, which I told her no. Oh my god. You need to get on your knees into the church. I think Sweden is Catholic, right? Go to the Catholic church and get on your knees, son, and pray to Jesus and thank him for holding you back so that you didn't send pictures of your cock to a 16-year-old, because that's still illegal, even if the age of consent is 16. Get on your knees, boy. I got upset after that, and she insisted that I send her a nude photo, even though I clearly stated no, because she was upset, dude. This motherfucker, this little tranny, was trying to set this nigga up, set my nigga monkey up. And literally a force of fucking God kept him from fucking up his whole life. Topic went on for a few days. She pulled the "I won't talk" card, which at this stage could mean anything. She said, then made this about us getting together, implying that all of our problems would be fixed, but yet again, I tell her I do not want to do it, but she still wants me to. He says he realized that he completely fucked up his life and is now that he's sober, he's reeling from regret. The red flags. I don't know, monkey. Do you see any red flags here? Does chat see any red flags about I don't know. Could it be the name mentally unstable? Could it be the tranny flag? I'm seeing a couple red flags just in the user bio, monkey. Maybe you too can learn from this and identify these red flags in your future correspondence with 16-year-olds. The red flags. The next flag is when she talked to me about checking out Zesty Jesus' Twitter, and she mentioned that there would be a lot of boobs because of his commissions of Zest. And I replied, oh yeah, I mean, obviously, massive honkers. Okay. If you don't know, Zesty Jesus is like a guy, and he uses like a picture of like a really hyper masculine whammon as his thing. He does like video essays, but then he puts all this random commission coon bait in his fucking videos so that you can't watch them if you're an adult. And then she replied with an emote that raised some eyebrows, so I did not question it. I later on she talked about her childhood and how much it sucked. Yeah, I bet. I wonder what things we have observed already that would indicate that this person's childhood was not the best. I now made the connection in my mind that reminded me of my little brother. He was 16 and autistic, and so is she. And this... Oh, no. I flirted with this autistic 16-year-old tranny. Reminds me of my little brother. Allah forgive me. I have committed haram. And I wanted to be there for her in case shit became real. I've done that to so many other friends as well. This was not an obsession. However, another red flag came up that she said that she lied about her age to someone within a community, and the guy she was dating figured out that she was not 18 years of age, and same as he was, leading her to being banned, rightfully so, from said community. I tried to calm her down in this situation, saying something similar, that I was dating a woman a couple years older than me when I was 16, 17. This topic sure is taboo, but this sort of behavior is normal for people. Later on, I discussed my second breakup of an ex of mine, which I was depressed for more than half a year, and a big part of that year was me working out in the gym, constantly pushing myself to the point of throwing up, and not eating correctly. She, however, focused on other stuff other than the fact that I was depressed. Even trannies don't want to hear about you being fucking depressed, bro. Shows off his... Bro. Showing off his cool Celtic tattoos. Yeah, this one right here, that's the Nordic runes for bussy life. This one right here is femboy Venus. This cross-stitching represents the relationship between man and 16-year-old tranny. Yeah, I worship Odin, bro. Here comes the real point of no return, where I should have left instantly. Okay, let's see this. Monkey says, I got bullied in school as a kid, so I thought getting muscles might stop that, and it did. Mentally Unstable says, can you strangle me, please? And Monkey says, dude. Dude. I said fine and took and ran with it, showing her true intentions on why she was really chatting with me. Blah, blah, blah. More Ashley Graves. She insisted that it was a joke. She was insisting on the shit that she said on a deeper level. Blah, blah, blah. I'm not even like halfway through this. It's more chat logs. Let's skip all the chat logs. Joining my server. The next case is when she joined my private server, and obviously she did not take no for an answer. Right after I started feeling better from my flu, a week later she asked again, and she did not accept no for an answer. She gets angry over something when she doesn't get out of me, blames me, and won't get over it until she gets it. The conversation ends with this. Played MVM for 2 days, gaining leverage. Before this, and later on in the day, she kept sending me explicit images with her saying me in real life. I did not know her true intentions. I can't even read the text on that. He was losing interest because he realized that he had sexted the 16-year-old mentally unstable boy, and now he was insisting on having a relationship. Okay, I got you. Me being drunk I'm drunk. Ha ha ha. Vodka. Everything is spinning. Hey, Susie. And then he says, okay. And then Monkey says, I love you. My dude is down bad. Swedish government, can you give this nigga a little socialism so he can recover from his down bad? Even when I was drunk, I tried explaining to her why we could not date, yet she kept asking me and talk me into it. I do not know what would have gone down if I had done it. You would have gotten shit on your dick, probably. I was waiting for the water to turn warm, but it didn't for a while, and that's because I turned the water lever the wrong way. I don't know what the fuck that means. I don't care. She proceeds to threaten me by killing herself due to her not being in a good mental state. I wonder, gosh, was there anything that you could have seen about this person that would have indicated to you, that they were not in a good mental state? We can only live and learn, chat. Only live and learn. Mentally unstable says question mark. I'm going to fucking kill myself if you don't say something. Moonky says, why? Mentally unstable says talk at Moonky. Monkey says, what do you want me to say? Mentally unstable says, I want you to fucking apologize for making me this way. If you want to talk back with you, then make it a good one. At Moonky, and that Moonky a third time, giving you the opportunity, so don't ignore me. Continues to at Moonky. He says, please stop. Look, I forgive you. You know I don't accept those. What do you mean? You know how I want apologies. It's getting kind of, sort of. Fucking goodness, stop ignoring. Monkey says, sorry for the attitude, that's all I say, okay? Finally, don't want to say more. You know what I mean, so find a way. Look, I find you cute and wholesome. You're tiny and precious, and I won't stay mad. Dude, imagine being blackmailed by a 16-year-old tranny. I can't be. Please stop being like this. I'm sorry for how things turned out. I'm sorry. You should be apologizing for how you were. This is why this dude had this ready to go within an hour of these accusations coming out, because the tranny had been extorting him for like months at this point to like pretend to be in a relationship with him. Could not take no. She wanted us to be friends with benefits, and I said yes, which is a fucked up done by me. However, the argument, quite a few fuck ups in this situation, my dude. The argument about her wanting to be in a relationship with me lasted about 2 days. I could not bother her anymore, so I had to settle with that. I wanted out, but I had to appeal to what she wanted, which was more explicit messages, and ERP was one of them. I was gaslighting into doing this, or else I would be afraid she would go out about this and tell everyone what we did inside of our DMs. I felt like I was being blackmailed. I was afraid I was mentally tired. I know I did this to myself, but I wanted help. You keep ignoring me. I'm giving you today as the last day before I block you. And he says, I don't know what to say. And he says, bad excuse. Bad excuse, monkey. I want more messages about my femboy penis. Let's see the last bit. And they talk for a bit. And then he even posts angry pictures of the Ashley Graves. Mentally Unstable says, yeah, I saw you on Steam that you had marked me as seen. Monkey says, yeah, because I don't know how to respond. He says, responded with anything is better than ignoring. Monkey says, I guess. Mentally Unstable says, so you think I deserve an apology? I'm sorry, sometimes I don't bother responding because ADHD. Angry Ashley Graves sticker, well, you should. I'm sorry, I got a question, though. Do you have thoughts about me still? He says, not often. Oh, I care about you, though. You're very precious. This guy's retarded. One more. What's the conclusion to this shocking story? I admit to the things I've done. I'm ashamed of the things I did. I never wanted this to be public because I fucked up badly, and I don't think it's fair for my entire social life to be ruined because I did a mistake. But if you ever need to see this person in your Discord, ban her, because she'll most likely try to do this to other people and manipulate them into explicit conversations. Okay, I got you. Yeah, you're pretty fucking retarded. You got extorted by a tranny. You should have just said that. Dear Twitter, on the month of December in 2023, I became intoxicated, and due to my depression, I started sexually explicit messages with a 16-year-old femboy, which is legal in my country. Things did not progress into a relationship, and that's when the 16-year-old femboy started to extort me for sexual favors and also erotic roleplay. I went along with them because I'm chicken shit and did not want my YouTube channel to be destroyed by the original conversations becoming public. I regret nothing. I don't know, let me change that part. I regret the things I've done, and I have seen the light. I should have consulted Loci before I engaged in such shenanigans. Down bad. Okay. Next, thingy, my Bob. Styxhexenhammer sex went to New Orleans and then went to jail in New Orleans for domestic battery. This is Tara Warwick's incarceration booking page. Wasn't booked on September 30th. His next court date was on the 1st of October. And he ended up waiting 4 full days, I think. Actually, I think less than that, like 2 or 3 days. And he was bailed out by none other than the quartering. For whatever reason, the quartering took pity. And as soon as they heard about the domestic battery charges, he said, I gotta free my nigga. So he got on the phone, and he paid a $5,000 cash bond to Tarl to get him out of jail. This led many people to laugh at him for being a godless heathen that runs around beating women. He traveled all the way from Vermont to New Orleans to beat a woman and got arrested for it. And I find him smug and insufferable. I'll play, after these days of silence, he comes out and he basically just makes a boring video. I'll play like a little bit of it. This video has 200,000 views, but he says absolutely nothing in it.
Alright everyone, talk about weird times. You probably were wondering where I was for an entire week. Actually, I was in jail. Don't worry, I'm gonna have no problem with the charges. They're pretty spurious. But I do have some fun stories with regards to that. Now, of course, I'm not going to talk about the specifics of the case for legal reasons. And actually, it turns out that Jeremy, the quartering, was the one that posted my bond. So a big shout out to him. I owe him a number of free live streams as a result of this. I just wanted to tell a little bit about the experience, though. You know, you get dragged off by the police, you get booked and all this bullshit, and then you go to jail. Not prison, it's just jail. Temporary holding while they, you know, figure out sort of what's going on. Then you have to go and do a court date and, you know, give your testimony and stuff like that, and then they figure it out later. Here's my experience. Overall, there were some very unpleasant things about it. But then there were things about it that were surprisingly, like, easygoing. For instance, one of the first things that I saw when I arrived in the jail was actually a dude snorting cocaine. He had a little white packet, and he was, like, chopping it up with his fingers, and then he had, like, a little straw, and he was snorting it. I'm like, what? How did you get it in here? Then I realized, oh, shit. They don't really have any drug checking in here. It was an older dude, too. It was, like, a dude in his 60s. And I thought that was surreal. I'm like, that's the first time, by the way, that I've even seen cocaine, and it happens to be in a fucking jail holding cell. You know, but prior to, you know, getting your orange jumpsuit and shit like that. That was strange. Then, at another point, let me talk about one unpleasant experience first. In the well, they're not really cells, but like little glassed-off rooms that, you know, you get locked into at night. You know, you're sleeping like 12 people to a room, in a room that's way, way smaller than my bedroom at Justana. And unfortunately, they have a shortage of blankets there. And so I slept on a bare floor for a week, like with no covering at all. I was lucky if I could get a little towel to use, fold it up and use as a pillow just for my head to keep that from hurting. I've got bruises on my arms and on my legs as a result of this. It was almost unbearable, that part, because I tend to be an insomniac anyway, so that wasn't necessarily...
Okay, I'm back. What did I miss? The summary of his story is that, well, yes, I was arrested for domestic violence in New Orleans. No, I won't talk about it. Also, I went to jail, and let me tell you how cool jail was. Me and the cool kids hang out doing drugs and marijuana, and everyone was very impressed by my strength and testicular fortitude, and I was very cool in jail, and so on and so forth. And take it easy, peace. Also, I'll beat my charges, I think is what he says. I don't know. This guy lives in Copesville. I hate Styx. I hate how he talks. I hate everything about his online personality. I hate the fact that he gropes women who are not consenting to it on camera. I hate the fact that he married a woman and then had a child with her and then abandoned her in the Netherlands to move to the United States to get... I hate the fact that he forced a woman to induce abortion using homegrown abortion medicine that he grows in his own garden, because apparently he does this so often he doesn't want to go to the store and leave like a paper trail. So he just grows abortion stuff in his own garden for it. It's just kind of a gigantic piece of shit, and I feel like if he gets chewed up by some crazy bitch in Nolans, he probably deserves it. Enjoy prison, soccer child. Speaking of, Useful filed a request to the government of Milwaukee, and the sheriff's department confirmed that the FBI is investigating the origin of the swatting calls to Patrick, and they're not at liberty to release any specific details in regards to those investigations. And Wings of Redemption shaved his beard. Let's see, this is 28 minutes long. It doesn't
this
have
is
that.
not Breaking Banquet's fault.
It's where's the fucking? I don't hear Keemstar talk ever. Keemstar apparently in his New York home he has like a wood panel background. Can I just skip all of the Keemstar shit? This video doesn't have enough views. It has 90,000 views, but it doesn't have like a heat map of where people skip to. Oh, I really don't want to hear Keemstar talk at all. Well, he shaves his beard here. I'll skip to that.
Eyebrows. The chat's demanding the beard as well.
Give me a second.
No, I'm not doing the beard.
That's another L, Keem. That's another L.
When he finishes the beard.
I'm so excited to see him with a beard. I've never seen this. This should be good.
He's looking at
Keem, that camping trip was
this
fun
is a major
from everybody.
L for Kelly.
Yeah.
His own wife is sitting there saying this is a major L for him.
So I can see my left side of my face.
Kelly, tell him he can keep the mustache.
You're gonna do the mustache.
No,
too, right?
he can keep it.
They didn't say mustache.
Keep the mustache.
He wants
Keep
to
it.
Keep it.
Keep it.
Okay.
Keep
Yeah,
it.
keep it.
Keep it.
I wanted the mustache.
It's gonna look like a
No,
child
keep the
molester with just the
mustache.
mustache.
Do I not get any wins on this?
Sorry, Kelly. Your husband messed up. He done messed up.
Because I got gray hair.
Huh? Open it.
Yes! Yes!
Just it
I forgive you, Wings.
Well, I guess it's a paycheck. I'm so glad we have other creators like Breaking Banquet to watch this drama, so we don't directly support these three clowns, yet still get to watch. Keem's beard looks like it came from a cheap pirate costume. Cool advertisement. It's like, I don't know, it's hard to like, he looks like, oh god, when he shaves everything, it looks like a child molesting, middle school teacher in this. And then when he shaves the mustache off, he looks like Rich from Review Tech, or Dickles, or whatever they call him. It kind of looks like that guy. But I think that's just because, like, fat people all look the same, like at that size. Interesting. Next, I don't know anything about this, but I want to watch these videos with you guys for the first time. This guy is a gay black man called Terryon Thomas, or Mr. Prada. He's a TikToker, and he was arrested in Dallas for murdering his therapist, who's a man, and stealing his victim the car afterwards. And he apparently made subtle references to wanting to kill people. So let's take a listen. Practicing for my mugshot, because this might be the year someone meets God if they piss me off too much. That's just how black people talk.
Don't do anything drastic
The signs were ignored, praying for Mr. Prada and his
unless
family.
you want to look like this.
Life is a prison. Get me the out. Like, I just woke up yesterday. I looked at the ceiling. I said, ah!
I got bipolar. I'm bipolar. Yeah.
Gay black people always sound like white guys fart in my face.
Never seen anybody that's bipolar before. See, I was trying to hide it, but it just slipped out.
I was almost perfect. But now I have to start over. I got to start from scratch.
Shaved his head? I don't know. I tried to find interest in black locales, and every time it's just like, this is just like attention-seeking behavior from a homosexual male. I don't think the murdering part, I think that's just like genetic. There's a genetic factor there. More into the Sektur area, chat. This is Jim Stewartson. Jim Stewartson is a crazy anti-Trump person. He kind of has like a large following, but he's like a retard. And apparently he got trolled by a fake person pretending to be Dave Rubin, and accidentally in the process confirmed that he runs a pro-Trump Twitter account or Telegram account. So, Jim publicly posted to Twitter that conservative podcaster and comedian and baby buying enthusiast Dave Rubin, he's one of the gay guys that bought a family, contacted him to ask him to appear on a panel discussion regarding the arrest of Telegram's founder Pavel Durov. Jim says, given today's revelations by the Justice Department, it's fascinating that Dave Rubin invited me onto his show last week out of the blue. Good thing I ignored. So fake Dave Rubin says, hi Jim, I saw your tweets regarding the arrest of Pavel Durov. I'm putting together a panel of conservatives and liberals to discuss this on an upcoming show. Any chance you'd be interested in participating? The next day, he says, if you are interested, could you respond before 5 p.m. PST tonight? If not, that's fine, we can fill the slot. But I thought your public stance on the majority of issues you talk about offer a nice contrast against Dave and some of the guests. These are the same messages, I suppose. So, the guy messaging him is someone named... He named this guy Dave Rubin in his phone? But the account is somebody named TrumpFan1776. That's the name of the account pretending to be Dave Rubin. Dave Rubin asks, any chance that's you? If so, that's hysterical. And he says, that guy's this bad. Yeah, that's me, and it's amazing he thinks his loyal fans will believe this. Are you going to post about it publicly? What's your Twitter at? I don't have a Twitter. You can have the messages, and that's the Trump names. I use the name of a former employee with Rubin in case he Googled the staff, but I heard he doesn't really search anything and just makes things up, but maybe he did this time, and he zidded on that TL what Rubin contacted him, and now he thinks he searched it fast, and so I thought it was legit. Problem that Dave Rubin and that account contacted the Telegram user TrumpFan1776. Jim has confirmed his secret MAGA LARP Telegram profile. Is this not the guy that's... Oh, no. This is the guy that's sending the message, though. Oh, that's the recipient is TrumpFan1776. I see. From the guy pretending to be Dave Rubin. Okay. Sorry, I'm retarded. So that's the name. How did this guy know that Jim Stewartson's account was TrumpFan1776, though? Okay, no, I fucked up reading this. So Dave Rubin is the guy sending those messages, and this is from Jim's perspective. He's seeing Dave Rubin, but the guy trolling him is the guy sending these messages, and he's communicating with a profile named TrumpFan1776, who is Jim Stewartson, and he confirmed this because he published those same messages. My question is, how does Dave Rubin, the fake Dave Rubin, know that Jim Stewartson's Trump account is TrumpFan1776? This is not explained to me. I wish this was explained to me. By the way, this is I compare him to kind of like Alex Jones, but shittier, because his website is just called Mind War. Like, that's him. And he pumps out this kind of shit. How crusaders, czars, and Nazis are uniting to steal the 2024 election. Ancient hatred, modern lies. And this is his AI-generated image of the crusaders sieging the White House. And apparently the crusaders are being struck with modern artillery in the process. So I guess that's him with the truth bombs. The crusade were a holy war by the Catholic Church against other faiths, against Jews as well. Okay. My grandparents escaped pogroms in Russia and came to America. So he's saying he's Jewish. The Nazis combined the worst impulses of the Russian Empire and the Crusades to form a genocidal hate machine based on the same ancient myths and modern propaganda. Despite their genocidal intent, the Nazis had their champions in the United States and still do. And then he says Elon Musk is one of those Nazis. Donald Trump gave the most dangerous speech of 21st century, where he laid out his proposal to solve what he constantly fearmongers as a skyrocketing crime problem. Okay, get ready, chat. This is the most dangerous speech in the entire history of this century.
What the hell is going on? See, we have to let the police do their job. And if they have to be extraordinarily rough. And you know, the funny thing with all of that stuff, look at the department stores, same thing. They walk into you see these guys walking out with air conditioners, with refrigerators on their back, the craziest thing. And the police aren't allowed to do their job. They're told, if you do anything, you're going to lose your pension, you're going to lose your family, your house, your car. The police want to do it. The Border Patrol wants to do it. Border Patrol, they're incredible. They want to do it. They're not allowed to do it because the liberal left won't let them do it. The liberal left wants to destroy them, and they want to destroy our country. You know, if you had one day, like one real rough, nasty day with the drugstores, as an example, where when they start walking out with, you know, she created something in San Francisco, $950 you're allowed to steal. Anything above that, you will be prosecuted. Well, it works out that the $950 is a misnomer because you can steal whatever you want, you can go way above. But you'd see, originally you saw kids walk in with calculators. They were calculating. They didn't want to go over the $950. They're standing with calculators, adding it up. You know, these are smart people. They're not so stupid, but they have to be taught. Now, if you had one really violent day, like a guy like Mike Kelly, put him in charge. Congressman Kelly, put him in charge for one day. Mike, would you say, he's right here. He's a great congressman. Would you say, Mike, that if you were in charge, you would say, oh, please, don't touch them. Don't touch them. Let them rob your store. Let all these stores go out of business, right? They don't pay.
How is this the most dangerous speech in the 21st century? He's just rambling like an old man about thieves. I transcribed and highlighted a section of his speech, which has been characterized as a version of the fictional horror film series, The Purge. But it is far more accurately seen as a demented retelling of the Kristallnacht, the night of 1938, that the Nazi SA and SS rained terror on the Jewish population. You see them in the stores. They've got their Jewish Kabbalah calculators, adding up the numbers as they steal from department stores. We have to Kristallnacht them, okay? Kristallnacht is named after the broken glass from the ransacked Jewish stores in Nazi Germany. But he's not saying that magnatards have to go into Jewish stores and steal all their shit to make it fair. I don't think that's what he's implying. While Trump openly proposed Nazi solutions to American problems, Mike Flynn has dropped... Oh, he's obsessed with Mike Flynn, by the way. Has dropped any pretense and says a Harris administration would be a Bolshevik revolution all over again. Which is precisely what Hitler said about Weimar Germany. Like Hitler, Trump and Flynn seek not only political power, but to escape accountability from previous crimes through the use of scapegoats. I mean, that's true. Like, the reason why the NSDAP got into power in Germany was because of the rise of communism in Germany. and the rise of communism in the East. Like, people were terrified of living under an authoritarian mob rule where people just stole all your shit and killed you for having ideological impurities. So they voted for the people that said, we'll get rid of all the communists. And that's happening in the U.S. too. Like, I've explained this to Europeans before. Like, I've had this conversation with them where it's like, oh my God, so-and-so far-right party is rising in my country. And it's like, well, that's because people are afraid of the fucking communists that are mass importing rapists and murderers from Syria and giving them free money at your expense. That's why they're voting for the fucking far-right. It's because there's a rise of communism, and when there's a rise of communism, there's a reactionary vote for the far-right. And like, yeah, that's how it worked. That's how it works in the last time too. You don't want people to vote for the far right. Stop importing a bunch of fucking Syrians and stop giving your fucking money away to them. Simple as. It's really just that simple. Jewish Bolshevism, the myth that drove the Holocaust, was a rehashed version of the Protocols of the Elder Zion, which was created by the Russian Tsars using lies from Crusader-era blood libel as a way to shift the blame for the Russian Revolution to Jews, a convenient scapegoat for the millennia. You mean like Marx was Jewish, Lenin was Jewish? I don't know. I don't know how you can like complain about that. Okay, this is stupid. He's basically just saying that here is a transcript of Pope Urban II's speech in 1095. This was the pack of lies that started the Crusades. Where's the actual transcript? There is no transcript. So, I don't know. I guess Putin is literally Pope Urban II. That's what he's trying to say. Cool. He gets so much engagement too. 100 likes on this. This fucking insane psychobabble. None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense to a normal person. But he still gets likes for it. Interesting. I don't know if I talked about this, but I'll just reiterate it because just in case. I don't think I mentioned, but Jackie Signh, who is Puerto Rican, has filed for bankruptcy. She no longer has the means to pay the interest on her debts. She is bankrupt. She has incurred over $250,000 in debt over the past 10 plus years, and she living in Puerto Rico and owing child support to her kids that she's abandoned. She is unable to pay her bills anymore. She tried to start a business up a couple years ago and took out a bunch of money for that, and it failed. So now she's reported that her income is $900 a month. I did already. That's okay. I'll talk about it again because it's funny. And she is destitute. Certificate of credit counseling. They made her take a credit counseling class. Okay, Jackie. Here's what you do. You don't take out a bunch of money to start a failed business. You don't rack up a bunch of credit card debt buying curry takeout. Someone, by the way, there's a really, really funny post. I don't know if I'll ever be able to find this, but someone asked, what does Jackie Signh spend money on to rack up $250,000 debts? Here it is. Any idea how she racked up this much debt? I thought she retired. And then this guy has the funniest post in the entire forum. He says, custom order oven mitts, extra large thimbles, XXXL gloves, super sized gold rings, barrels of perfume to cover up her Jeet miasma. These things all add up, you know. Because she's got big, ugly hands. Good stuff. Excellent. Aaron Imholte. Aaron Imholte is the guy that is opposed to Nick Rekieta. And when I first started talking about him, I had to clarify that he is a kind of minor celebrity in that area of Minnesota. And he already had like this major contingency of alogs. So like his steel toe morning show antics were already being like snark reddited and stuff before he kind of merged with the Rekieta sphere to cause like a lolcow supercell. Now he is on conditional release from jail because he's being charged with a felony in regards to revenge pornography of Kayla Rekieta. And so his conditional release means even with unconditional release, you generally promise that you will remain law-abiding. So any violation of the law can be considered a violation of your bond and have your bond revoked so that you go back to jail. So here is one of the gay logs from his Steel Toe morning show hate fandom saying, Aaron scoffed at the idea of Rumble reaching out to Sherborne County DA to report him for violating the TOS. Here I was wanting to know where to go to report him for violating copyright law and his probation. I never even cared about Rumble TOS. Thanks, Aaron. So this guy is going to try and report copyright infringement on behalf of a third party to his parole officer and the DA to try and get his bond revoked. Now, in my life, dealing with the Sektur, I have seen desperate, pathetic, craven, absolute piles of fucking dog shit desperately sucking the cock of the government to try and inconvenience people that they don't like for whatever asinine, petty, stupid fucking reason. This is one of the most pathetic and desperate I've ever seen, ever. And this guy should probably be hammered to a railroad track by railroad spikes and ran over by a train. I don't know what else would be a suitable punishment for someone this fucking bootlicking and disgusting. This guy definitely dresses up. Is like a 50-year-old man who dresses up in drag and jerks off to like 4chan cuckold pornography. Absolutely revolting. Genuinely stirs hatred and contempt from my bowels. And by the way, this guy is a fan of someone called Patrick Melton. His next illegal movie stream. So he talks about movies and streams movies. Oh my gosh. This guy, I don't like, is streaming movies to the internet. He doesn't even have a license. He doesn't even have permission from the copyright holder. Oh my god. Beat the fuck out of these people. That would cure them. I'm just saying, I'm not advocating for violence, but I'm just saying if you took these people and beat the fuck out of them, their priorities would readjust in a positive and constructive way. Just like take a stick and just beat the fuck out of them, and then suddenly all this copyright shit that he's so concerned about will become like whoosh, like way at the bottom of things that he's concerned about at that moment. Just instantly it would instantly cure him of the mental condition and that's what I'm advocating for here is mental health. Mental health. Right now, he's in a bad headspace, and he cares a lot about stuff that really doesn't affect him. And I think that through therapeutic application of a blunt instrument to his body and head would immediately cure him of this anxiety, because it would restructure his priorities and headspace into a more positive and affirming area, giving him insight and value into the things that really matter. I'm just advocating for mental health with a blunt object to his fucking asshole. Anyways, Patrick Melton is what he's a fan of, called Nobody Likes Onions. I have no fucking idea what any of this is, but there's apparently a video here. So the copyright bro that cares so much about this is a big fan of this guy, and apparently I should play this clip. Let's take a listen. I've not listened to this yet. This is a live reaction chat.
And he always seemed like a good dad to me. I was in total shock when I heard about this.
Yeah, I'm sure he doesn't fuck his kids.
And denial, I'm not going to lie. I felt like there's no way the guy that I knew...
Can we, first of all...
Who is this?
Is this not a problem generated?
Who are you? Oh, okay, so this guy is watching this review. This is Onion Man. And he's doing a live reaction to this video. I'm assuming that this guy was arrested, or his father was arrested for possession of child pornography. He's doing a live reaction.
AI could solve. Is this not a problem generative AI could solve? You know, the thumbnail of this show is an onion in a kilt vomiting in Scotland. And that was probably made in seconds, and it looks realistic enough. Now, this is not going to be a popular opinion, but couldn't we generate realistic child porn that would satisfy... Okay, two unpopular opinions about the child porn thing. Number one, I think we'd all agree.
Spit it out, coward.
I think we'd all agree that collecting images. First of all, who's saving porn to a hard drive? Okay, I don't even get it. And then I said this last night in the Discord, but 6,000 images. If 10 images of nude kids can't make you come, I don't know why you're gonna need 6,000 of them.
Oh man. Dick, Juju, somebody ring the cowbell. Ring the cowbell. Juju, I got your next co-host, buddy. I got your next co-host. This guy's a fucking stand-up comedian. He's your next guy. He's your top guy. Juju, get this fucker on the Dick Show right away. He'll mesh right in with your people.
I mean, come on. But the point is, we can all agree that looking at pictures of naked children is better than fucking kids. Okay? Now look, not a comfortable topic. I get it. But can we all agree on that? Looking at a picture of a naked child. Now look, the problem is, the way that these pictures are obtained and produced is abuse to children. But let's not get into that.
But the distribution and utilization for sexual purposes of these images is not a continuation of that? Is that like a... No, is that missing your... Okay.
But we can all agree that fucking a kid is way worse than looking at a nude picture of a child. So, with that being said, this generative AI, and I think it is illegal to, make images of child porn. I'm pretty sure that's a law.
Yeah. Damn, this dude could be a lawyer. Damn, that's that's a fucking profound thought.
But,
oh my god,
in a lot of ways, isn't it a solution?
Make sure to slam that like button.
To not having victims of child porn. Patrick says ignore the abuse. No, I'm making two separate points. That number one, child porn is not as severe a crime as child abuse, especially sexual assault of a child. Or rape, or whatever you want to call it. But, I'm just saying...
Spit it out.
No kids are being hurt. And it keeps these child fuckers at bay. Maybe we allow them to just go in a room and just keep generating as much child porn as they want. Look at people in the chat. They're so uncomfortable. Stop!
Yeah, no shit. There's a fans trying to save them. How about this? Okay, if we're already at the point that we can put all these evil pedophiles into the generative AI machine learning room, why don't we just kill them? if our solution is just to lock them in the goon chamber, why don't we just shoot them in the fucking head? Why does nobody want to agree with me on these things? We need a more efficient death penalty.
Stop! Imagine being that fucking gay. Imagine being such a pussy. Where you're like, you can't.
Imagine being such a gay. Imagine being such a fucking pussy. Oh my god.
Don't even talk about it. I'm so uncomfortable.
Dude.
And then there's people in the chat room who are going no, that won't fix it. I'm not a politician. This is a joke. You fucking idiots. You fucking idiots.
I remember there's the statistic I like to quote is that half of all child abuse is there's like an extra 10% tops is female on male or female on female child abuse, and then for the remaining 90%, half of that is male on boy, and then the other half of that is male on girl. Which means that if our population, depending on how many people in our population are gay, then, and I've seen estimates of between 1% and 10%. So just based off that, you can be assured that gay men are because the gay men are probably only half of the population. I think I got a calculator real quick. I'll just say it's like 0.5. So a gay man is between 20 and 200 times, just roughly in my head, 20 and 200 times more likely to be a pedophile than a straight man, and like twice that, like not even, like 10 times that. A gay man is 200 to 2,000 times more likely to be a pedophile than a straight woman. I think that's the actual numbers. It's like a profoundly preposterous increase in pedophilia.
You guys are over there like, wow, Melton thinks you ought to be over there. I don't know. I don't make policy, you fucking idiots. Imagine arguing with me in my chat. You fucking idiots. You're being gross. I'm not being gross. You can't handle talking about things in a true way. You can't handle it. That's you. You're uncomfortable. Something inside you is... If your stomach is churning about this, you're immature in a way, because, you know, get the fuck over it. 199, aloha, how are you? Thank you, Kraut Cat.
Very hot now.
No, but the point is, what's the... I guess what I'm asking is, what are we punishing people for? And I don't mean like, I mean, I understand like literally what we're punishing people for, but like, if the crime is, if the reason this is a crime, and I believe...
So let me get to the bottom of this. When you generate child pornography, you're definitely not conditioning yourself to find the immature body of a child to be sexually arousing. That's not the bad thing that we're prosecuting or trying to prevent here. That the exposure to child pornography, even if there's no physical literal victim, is bad for the human mind and therefore can increase the likelihood of child abuse down the road. Look, that's like a victim of crime. But copyright infringement. There are people out there that slave their life away for their creative works, and people like Aaron Imholte steal their creative works and play them on their podcast without permission. Effectively, a form of mental rape. Chat. We have to lock those motherfuckers up. We have to put that motherfucker back in jail before he really hurts somebody. Come on now. Oh, fuck this guy. Dude, I'm telling you, if this guy hasn't hooked up with Juju, you gotta fucking ring this motherfucker up. He's your boy. He's your homie. You got mutual enemies. He don't like Aaron Imholte. Just come on, get him. As
far as cup holders, and she's singing like, dude, she's right.
Your daughter's got a cup holder too. I hate to tell you, turn her upside down. Oh boy,
dude, Juju, this guy, dude, I'm telling you, he'll fit right in, bro. I'm telling you, he'll fit right in. He doesn't like Aaron either. He's your new buddy. Okay. I have something else, I think. I'll put some... I don't see it. I had a Reddit thing. Now it's gone. But I guess this will count on this time. And I actually have two voicemails I'll play. Just because. Just for funsies, chat. Just for funsies. Sleepy Taquito says, my dad saw this photo and couldn't believe it was AI. I ran it through multiple AI image detectors in front of him. They all said it was 99.9% likely, and he still didn't believe me. My mom said it was just a professional photo where they gave the puppy to the little girl as a prop in the hurricane. I'm officially worried about my parents. The boomers need to be forcibly disconnected from the internet. I think that the boomers were uniquely conditioned to basically trust everything that they see. Like, they watch the television like, oh, these are like professional journalists who get all their facts straight, and the government never lies to us. This is great. I love being able to trust everybody around me implicitly. And now everyone these days is just like, oh, everybody's fucking lying all the time, and never trust your lying fucking eyes. Unless you can kill it, it doesn't exist. That's the rule. They're not mentally prepared for current day. All right, I downloaded these two at random. I hope that this is funny. If it's not funny, I'll be angry.
Good morning, Mr. Moon. I know you'll be live streaming soon, but I wanted to reach out and express my support for your current hyperfixation on merchandising. I myself own 3 of your Chris Chan Kiwi coins and influenced others to purchase at least an additional 3. I wanted to inquire about a merchandising idea you'd mentioned in the past that I had been extremely interested in, that being the Kiwi playing cards, with each face card being a lolcow. Any intention to move forward with the idea? Thanks for your time. Goodbye.
Not currently. Thank you for buying all my merchandise. That's very based of you. As far as the playing cards, an idea that I've had for a very long time, and I've wanted to do it, but it just seems like I don't know. I would have to commission 52 pieces of art, and then I have to find a group that does the printing. And I'm sure they're out there, but I would like to do it eventually. Maybe to commemorate like a special occasion or something. I'll do the cards. It's been on my mind for a while. I think this one's Haramburger again.
Hey, Josh, this is Haramburger, calling to leave constructive criticism about your merch run. In previous years, I've had the luxury of pondering which shirt to order over the course of a few weeks. And now, when I decide I want to buy a Hamster trick-or-treat shirt, 1XL in week 1, it turns out you're sold out in 6 hours on every reasonable size. Where do you get off only ordering 500 extra larges and then turn around and have 500 extra small lying around? You trying to chase Turkey Tom's Twink Boy audience or something? I need 1XL. Do I sound like I have the body of a 12-year-old girl? What are you even going to do with all those smalls? Give them to Destiny? He can only hang up so many in that closet in that dollhouse he lives in. How are you going to find 200 other dwarves to sell them to? While we wait for the inevitable customer satisfaction survey to come in, let me give you a preview of the kinds of feedback the rest of us dissatisfied shoppers are going to leave. Question 1. How would you rate your overall online shopping experience? 1 star. What could we have done better? Max 500 characters. Kill yourself. Question 2. How would you rate the checkout experience and payment processing flow? 1 star. What could we have done better? Eat my ass. How would you rate the page responsiveness and loading times? 1 star. What could we have... Fuck you.
That's it. He hangs up there. Usually, each year when I do a merchandise run, I first take the orders, and then I made to order the designs. But because of the timing of this one, I just tried to guess, and either I guessed really right or really wrong. The one I guessed really wrong on was the Viking hoodie. I did back order on those and sold those, but then Square immediately banned us. So the issue is that when I think about it and get around to doing the merch run, it's usually very close to when I would prefer that they would go out, and that doesn't give me the benefit. And the other thing is that with my payment processors, I have to be very fast about getting orders in, so... yeah, I mean, if I could ever find like a real payment processor, but that's not going to happen, unfortunately. Okay. It is now time for the Super Berries channel. I think that sums everything up. Giant Kazaki for 2 says, thanks for everything. Been here weekly since swapping from Jim's Doomer COVID streams when I was in chemo. I'm happy to help. I'm happy that my uplifting personality is helping you with the chemo. Good luck with that. Bridge Magnet for 4 says, "Hey Josh, do you like limes? Today limes were on sale, so I bought 40 and I'm going to make limeade. I hope you're doing well." I'm not particular to limes. I don't dislike them. I would drink a limeade, I think. If something was like, there's like a key lime pie, I would eat it. Limeade does sound pretty good, actually, now that you mention it. Bunker Housing for 1 says, "Who's the girl singing in the intro song?" I have no idea. Her channel on that podcast website thing, the music site, SoundCloud or something, was called Federal American Government. But she like never submitted anything else. I don't know her. It was just like a random thing posted. I think in the Mad of the Internet thread. Humble Guardsman for 2 says, "Please describe the proper etiquette for editing and deleting posts." You have a limited editing window, I think of an hour. Generally, I think maybe even like 10 minutes now. It's really short. But generally, when you're going through a thread and replying to quotes, you should use the plus quote feature. Insert all the quotes in one post and reply that way, instead of replying, like going through the thread and literally replying to every single post that you want to reply to. Chloe Dante for 5 says, "Did you know that Nubbly is a longtime aficionado of soy jacks?" And then he links to an Inktober post on Tumblr. And it is a Mr. Nubbly post, and he has drawn... I have no fucking idea how to describe this, but there is in fact a Smugjack mask meme in this. Even Mr. Nubbly can't resist outside influence on his art, unfortunately. Space Allen for 20 says, "Ham Jam. Thank you, Space Allen. I appreciate it." Haranburger for 2 says, "Left a fresh voicemail, my niece." I heard it. We all heard it, Haranburger. Good job. Bunker Housing for 5 says, "Tell us more about the IRS. Did they assign you an arbitrary value of tax you should pay? Can you appeal?" I am prepared. So as part of my preparations to move, I ran my taxes without my expat discount. And if you live overseas, your foreign earned income has a $100,000 discount. If you remove that and you calculate my numbers through the tax system, I owe 5 figures. And that is preposterous to me. I don't feel like I have a lot of money. I don't feel like I have enough to pay that kind of tax. And it's a lot. It's like a third of your income. And that's including all my business deductions and stuff. I'm just thinking, like, how do Americans do it? Like, if you're in the U.S. and you work, how do you get by day to day with the federal government providing 0 services that you use and taking a third of your income for the privilege? How do people get by? And I don't think they do. I don't know what the fuck they do. Third World Aristocrat for 2 says, "Sure is nice to have epically owned Nick Rekieta once and for all. With nobody around to correct the record, we sure have won completely and totally. Joyous day, Kiwi Farms users." It does seem like the Kiwi fags on the couch have won forever and ever. Kurt Eichenwald, Anime Masturbator for 5 says, "Glorious Kiwi Emperor, thank goodness we picked Rumble. If we couldn't send you my bi-weekly super chat, I probably would have died on the spot. Bless your soul, Kiwi Emperor." I'm very happy that you were able to send me $5, Kurt Eichenwald, Anime Masturbator. It's the highlight of my stream for me, obviously. Profetuo for 1 says, "Money me now, uwu. You October 4th, 2024. Very prescient super chat. I did say that. Joa Jovi for 4 says, "Had time to watch the most recent Gumroad entry yesterday. Love the more frequent content. I'm trying to catch up on all the months I missed, so I'm not a liar. I don't have something planned for this weekend. Maybe I don't know. I could do Dustborn, but that's not really Gumroad content." Yakni for 10 says, "Josh, in your cornstarch video, you forgot a key detail. It has to be a name brand Clorox bleach." Then there's a YouTube link. Okay. Did not know this. Let's see.
I'm going to show y'all how I clean my motherfucking chicken. This is how my grandma showed me, my mama showed me, and this is how I do it for me. So you're going to put a little bit of Clorox. It has to be name brand Clorox bleach or it will not taste right. Once you put your Clorox, you're going to take a little bit, maybe about 2 drops of the Dawn dish detergent. Don't put a lot. That's what people mess up at. You only need 2 drops. Once you do that, you're going to soak it around inside of your mix, move it around until you see the water look a little bit hazy. That means the chicken is now clean. Then you're going to rinse it. Right here, my chicken started going down my drainer. I had to bring that shit back up because it was going down and I cannot lose my chicken because I only got a little bit. So once I got all my chicken back to the top, of course, I go ahead and hit a little bit of water, rinse it off, and then once I rinse it off, I'm going to go ahead and now start the seasoning. I'm going to put my complete seasoning on it, just a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of onion powder, and then of course my Lowry seasoning salt. Once I do that, I'm going to mix it up really, really good, and I'm going to put it inside of a bowl, put it in the refrigerator for about 15-20 minutes, let it cool down, and I'll be back for part 2 of how I cook it.
Good job. That is definitely sterilized chicken. Congratulations. Thank you. Ace of Spencer 20 says, I will silently write this. Retarded, 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 retarded. Okay. You did it. Good job. Your post was not deleted. Thank you. NewsHammy69 for 2 says, Josh, happy pizza day. What's a hamster's favorite snack? Anything that fits in its sheets. It's true. That is true. That's accurate. Umpty Madu for 1 says, Germans are retarded cattle. In college, a German guest speaker was showcasing computer vision software they wrote to straighten crooked scans of sheet music because musicians are retarded. I expressed interest in the software and encouraged him to distribute it. Foss paid, I don't care. He refused because he was worried that he could be sued if the software was used on copyrighted works. I mean, that's a legitimate fear to have. That's why all those torrenting software says, by the way, we don't encourage piracy, because they don't want to be sued for contributory copyright infringement, heaven forbid. Cole for 5 says, Josh, to improve yourself as a streamer, here is your communication lesson for the weekend. And there's a YouTube link. Motherfucker, it's $10. You've done this like 3 weeks in a row. I'll watch this one because you said that you were broke and were struggling to pay taxes, but...
This is how to talk to an LGBT...
That person is hideous.
QIA plus person.
He included the P. He included the P. He knows.
What? Let's begin. Who are you? And what are you? Why are you? And where is it? And how are you? Why?
What a rude person. Very rude. The correct answer is don't. Always Mr. No for 10 says, have you seen the ads that get put on your streams? I think they're ad-generated scams. They're all so bad it's hilarious. On Rumble? No. Are you... I don't see any ads. I don't know what you're talking about. Thank you. DB Deluxe for 2 says, Josh, Red Letter Media is doing paranormal investigations now since they're in Milwaukee. I'm trying to get them to swing by Patrick's place, interview the ghosts of those black kids he made into pepperoni. Spooky. Oh my god, I can't believe it. They must be so bored of reviewing movies, especially because all movies suck now. I can support. Maybe we can get a collab with the that movie reviewer that is just the paranormal expert now. They can hook up. That's the crossover that we need. Eugula Sneed for 10 says Sneed. Thank you, Eugula Sneed. I appreciate it. Haramburger for 2 says, when Blow Blacks was buying underwear on Victoria's Secret, it must have been the benefit of the North Carolina disaster relief. What a helpful guy. Those poor residents needed those fresh panties. Are you implying that Blow Blacks would give a fuck about a rural mountain person in North Carolina? I don't think so. Degenerate 7 for 20 says, a couple of good comments at the end. Then there is the Ghost Archive link. Okay, let's see. Sorry, service workers are disabled in Firefox on private mode. Okay, let's try the other browser. Okay, it's loading. Is Super Earth based off Israel in the Helldivers 2 general discussion? McQueenie says weak block weak bait mate. EOTB says the fuck. McQueenie complains and says just report it and move on. John Helldiver says it's very reminiscent of many fascist regimes throughout history, much like Starship Troopers. Melqueenie says, I'm glad you made that distinction. Unapologetically Big Dickus says, bro has 96 hours in the past 2 weeks. Critmaster Flex says, oh yes, we nuked a nursery, but it's not our fault the Terminid fighters built a tunnel network at the same place to invade our settlements. Now, if only we could slip the bot some explosive communication devices. And then Mr. Bubble says, absolutely. If Super Earth does not take in more Terminid workers, Super Earth will not survive. I mean, I guess. Thank you. Sneedo for once says, Paco and his buddies could have built better stairs for a couple cases in Modelo. It's true. I always hated those fucking stairs. And everyone was like, oh my god, look at how efficient people are versus government. And it's like, those stairs suck. Brianna Wu, Hyper Bimbo for 20, says, IMO, Ralph needs to go back to in-real-life interviews. Can we get a quick reaction to the body language and attire of this interview from a few years ago? Sure, we can, buddy. Let's see. If you're wondering when the message flashes, that's me trying to click it and highlight text that causes it to disappear and reappear.
Miss Lauren Whiskey, how you doing?
I'm so good. Out because it's really helpful when I have a friend that's like, hey, I could really use your help with this. Absolutely. I ask him, he says, absolutely, bring him on the show.
Well, and again, certain critical comments, obviously, with the interviewees, but I will say, and of course, I have my own takes as well, but, it's like you said, the same trait that might be seen as like, oh my God, like he said this that night when your ass is on the line. Maybe it's a different thought process. You know what I mean? Like,
is Lauren Witzka the in real life halfback? Dude, she looks so frigid. She's like looking at him very sternly, leaned away, legs crossed, leaned away. Compare that to she's leaned forward towards him, more neutral stance at the beginning, and then over time she leans further. At this point, she's leaning super far away. She's tilting out of her fucking chair. And then when it's over, she's like, oh, thank God, and sits back up straight. There's your body analysis. Thank you. Keth King Khan for 5 says, don't make fun of Ralph's rescue effort, bish. Motherfucker, I'll do whatever I want. Shit. Hamster for 10 says, anime sucks, Copenstein is not a good man. Insightful commentary, things hidden up in the super chats about anime sucks, Coop and Sneed. Porkjack for 2 says, I'm thinking about living on a sailboat. Is Starlink good enough for games and remote office work? I've heard that Starlink works great on boats. Go for it. You might want to give it a test out before you commit to buying a boat, though. Sneedo for 1 says, do a live call. Also, fuck you and Coop Sneeds. It does work for games and stuff. I use it to play Dota. Just be aware that your ping is weird. I noticed that I have very short ping to faraway places, and I don't know if that's accurate or what the fuck that means. Meowga for 1 says, hey Moonpie, I finally landed a salaried art fag job. To celebrate, I made a little motivational slobber mutt illustration for my wage slave Kiwi sisters. Heart. Okay. Yeah. Well, this is quite nice. Says everything will be okay in the end. If it's not okay, then it's not the end. Well, congratulations on landing a job with those greeting card companies like Hallmark, I guess. It seems very nice. I appreciate it. It's a nice dog. And he looks more like a Borzoi in that than like the Slobbermutt. It's a good change of pace, I guess. Thank you. Congratulations. Logistical Nightmare for 10 says, I, for one, am very excited to hear more about the continued toil against the stupid fucks that terminated the merch account. Enjoy some shekels to finally get forwarded to account services. I don't think I'll ever get forwarded to account services. Filthy Penguin for 5 says, please do a live call to the payment processor, become unhinged, fight fire with fire. I would, but I don't want them to, just randomly shout my social security number or some shit and fuck me over. Ralph is bald. They said bad, but it says bald. Will Internet Preservation Society preserve the chronological history of Ethan Oliver Ralph and the shark heard around the world? It will. Part of it's a 501c4 can spend half of its income on political lobbying, but it must have 50% of its money go to a charitable purpose in order to be classified as a 501c4, and its charitable purpose will be archives and supporting at-risk internet services and stuff. Banana Plugs, for one, says, Happy Pizza Day, Josh. You're my favorite non-Slav always. That's great. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do want pizza. Casting Couch Crab for 5 says, went to a yoga class for the first time yesterday, was surrounded by single women who are putting effort into themselves. It was a good workout too. Try Yoga Kings. The boy has cracked the secret. He's gone outside and found women. Congratulations. Sneedo, for one, says, your Substack has more viewers than Lorenz. Well, she just made hers. Come on, bro. That's not fair. Asian Tech Support for 5 says, enjoy pizza, Floridian child. I will. Thank you very much. Aryan Queen Generator for 1 says, I'll never forgive you for not allowing us to order the cute hoodie and tried to force us to buy the edgy hoodie. Mean. It's a sweatshirt, number 1. Number 2, I bought historical data, okay? I had limited time. Judy Tester for 2 says, the super chatter before me is stupid. Both hoodies were cute. All roads lead to cute. Judy Tester knows, man. He knows. Anime Sucks Cope and Sneed for 1 says, I support Israel because they are pro-pornography. Ho Ho Holocaust for 2 says, the Kiwi Farms is real journalism. That's true. It's absolutely more journalism than Taylor Lorenz has ever done. MH Dark Law for 2 says, Gamergate really was the 9/11 of the lowercase I internet. That's absolutely correct. It is. They'll never get the fuck over it. The day that normal people told journos to eat shit and die. Patrick S. Tomlinson for 2 says, Josh, actually, it's internet with an uppercase I. Also, Josh, espresso machine. What's wrong with that? It is an espresso machine. What the fuck are you talking about? Tech Controller for 10 says, Josh, in a similar vein to Taylor Lorenz trying to get people to pay for their shit they barely watch for free, CNN is trying to get subscriptions for their articles. Surely this will succeed like CNN Plus did. CNN Plus is doomed to die. Enjoy irrelevancy, CNN child. Thank you. Logistical Nightmare for 10 says, is the espresso machine the white peepo version of saying blacks peepo chirps? Maybe Taylor Lorenz should write about that. That's what the uppercase I internet readers want to know about. It's true, I think. It just means that she doesn't have an office because she's poor. She doesn't have like a spare room, I guess. I don't know why. Just like record your fucking video at home. How hard is that? You're going to filter out the background anyways, so it doesn't matter. Just not giving a fuck about the quality of your production, which sums up journalists pretty well. Tetra Vax for $200 says, oh, sorry, I was trying to donate to my local journalist since she needs more money to lie to me. It's true. She's very desperate for money. Maybe Anime Sucks Cope and Sneed can hook up with Taylor Lorenz. Now that's a power couple. That's a power couple. He has his pulse on internet culture. He knows all the inside deets, and he can hook Taylor Lorenz up with the big scoops. She just has to do something for him. It won't cost her anything. He'll give her everything she could ever want for free. Thank you. Otto Piggins for 2 says, screen cap this, Taylor Lorenz will be the co-host on the Young Turks before the end of the next year. I don't think they want her. She's a fucking retard. I don't think... Dude, Chank and other lady, they're not that dumb. They're not dumb enough to hire Taylor Lorenz, I don't think. Doing Your Mom 2988 for 2 says, please, for the love of God, stop doing Jewish and British voices because you cannot do them and they sound fucking awful. I don't know what you're talking about. But I will continue at they do say they T with the first one. I just don't pronounce the T's. That's my British voice. I will continue to do them. That sounds right to me, champ. Brianna Wu Hyperbimbo for 20 says, Ralph did a much needed fact check on the recent Ralph segment. The whole thing is golden, but I offer 60 seconds at this timestamp. Oh, is he going to cope and sneer about being bald? Okay, let's see. Way and the Jews had their last laugh because, as you can see, Ethan Ralph is actually fucking bald. Properly, straight up fucking bald. And he has a comb over that one can only compare to how you would, if you like close your eyes,
it's a hair
put your
part
fingers to your temple and you imagine these words: IRS, tax accountant, 45 years old.
Now my hair is thin
That
in this
exact
picture.
mental image. Will
So does
be
he actually
what
think?
you see in front of you?
Wait. Does
When
he
you-
actually think that I grow this part of my hair all the way from this side of my head? I mean, you can clearly see that I don't, by the way. Do I have to turn the filter off again?
I can see your bright red
Let me
pigskin
see
through your
here.
fucking thin ass hair, Ralph. What are you talking about?
I mean, it's so stupid, right? I mean, my hair is a little thin up top. There's no doubt about that.
Then why are you coping
but
about it?
I'm not bald.
I can see
so
your fucking.
I really don't know.
I can literally see the
what to
redness of
say
your
or how to put that to
pigskin
you,
scalp
but,
through your hairline.
That's a part in my hair, by the way. Over.
Yeah,
whichever
dude, look
side
at how
it is
gentle
right
he is,
here.
easing that headset off his head.
By
Watch.
the way, okay, or how to not bald. So I really
Very,
don't know
very gently.
what to
Don't
say or
don't touch a single hair, because if a single one of those hairs is nudged even a millimeter in either direction, it's going to cause a cascade failure, and the whole thing, the brightness of the red scalp will shine through clear as day. You gotta be real fucking gentle with that. Thank you for the clip. Brandon Wu, Hyper Bimbo, for one says, Donald Trump is not orange, he's gyaru, part of the Japanese gal culture, which inverts Yamato Nadeshiko Bu. Oh, dude, I know exactly what you're talking about. Hold up. As an expert on all things Japan, I of course know exactly what the gyaru part of gal culture is, and it's this.
Yeah, ギャル男宣言。
俺ギャルを始めました BK 卒業パンツピタピタっていうか昨日も渋谷好きな食べ物はシーザーサラダガングロメッシュにガラコンレンズ
It's Trump's people. Don't even try. The best part of this, by the way, is at the very end. Hold up. This part. It's his mom trying to tell him to get a fucking job. And then they have like a Mog moment. They start fighting. I miss the old internet chat. I don't think these guys ever made another song, by the way. They published that one song, and then they gave up. I'm pretty sure that's what's happened. They did 4 songs 11 years ago, and then they just gave up. Vordier, for one, says, way too many words. Thank you, Vordier. I appreciate it. Sneedo for 2 says, Blow Blacks was always a faggot. He links to X, and then I have a feeling that this is going to be something about Keffels. Holy shit, this guy in my league game just asked for a girl's Insta and got super transphobic when he found out she was trans. What the fuck? Yo, mid, you a girl? Mikaya Wink says, Insta, you cute? X87 says, liar. And that account doesn't exist. Is that you? Because that's not a girl. Mikaya says, oh shit, yeah. My bad. Yeah, Blacks goes, blah, 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 blah. 41% girl. You're not a girl. You're a man pretending to be a girl. You'll never be a girl. 41% fast faced. Yeah, sorry, Sweaty. Your cute League of Legends mid is always going to be a man. I don't know what to tell you. Debugs, for one, says, I'm glad you haven't heard of the god-awful NPC Hawk Tuamine. Yeah, I've heard of it, but it's like so far divorced from anything I could ever possibly give a fuck about. I've never wanted to talk about it ever. Gormless Wonder for 5 says, please play a wallpaper during the next few super chats. I'll make them more comfortable. Okay, I can do that. Kething Khan for 5 says, do you think Aisha catfished Muhammad on Discord? No, it was the other way around. It was an old-timey Muslim tradition where they just simply abduct or buy women and then rape them without their consent. Kind of the opposite of a catfish. Borglak, for one, says, yes, stalker child, despair freedom. Stalker adult, despair freedom. I don't know what the fuck that means. Ace of Speds for 5 says, he didn't drink a bottle of Elzin, he drank half a bottle of Jeslin. It's vodka. Okay, that makes more sense. I think I said that. I think I guessed it was vodka. Devious Devi for 2 says, say something mean about the next person who super chats. Okay. Well, I guess I'll do that while listening to Wallpaper. Sneedo for 1 says, he's now quartering's bitch. How am I supposed to say something mean about this? It's true. It's absolutely true. Oh, thinking about the mutt meme again, are you? Oh, yes. Every American, when they go to jail, they get anally raped. I see how it is. Sneedo. Bradier for 5 says, you make fun of Styx Butson Slammer for not using Fediverse yet. You yourself use Zitter more than KF.cc. Curious. Well, I was advocating for it before. I don't have either at this fucking point. I don't know what you're talking about. Young Pei Cheng for 20 says, can you play Assassin's Creed as a good franchise while looping Elon Musk dancing again? Have a blessed weekend. Okay, sure, I can do that. Okay. Okay, I think this is... We're mashing these up together now. I find Elon Musk dancing. Oh yeah, oh yeah, him on front of. Okay, I got this. Yeah. What? Why is it opening like an entire fucking web document? I just want the fucking GIF. No, I want the GIF. There we go. Okay, perfect. Okay. Yeah, this is working out well. Tetrabax for 10 says, Wings has become the most normal guy on the Fat Retard podcast, and I can't predict how that story is going to end. It's going to end with Keemstar getting ran over in fucking Buffalo, I hope. Thank you. Call Dante for 15 says, hey Josh, it's Dave Rubin. I'm putting together a panel on lowercase internet censorship to confirm your ID. Can you just read off your credit card numbers real quick? Don't forget the 3 numbers on the back. Sorry, Dave Rubin, I don't talk to gay men. The Octane for 1 says, Zed S Espresso G, and he's trying to replace the X in the word espresso, but that's how it's pronounced. Prope 2 for 1 says, the Knights Templar were Jews. They absconded with the spoils of the Crusades, peddling usury to the established World Bank. I have no fucking idea what that means. Coley Dante for 5 says, never forget when Hitler arrested 6 million Jewish shoplifters. I never will. I promise I never would. MH Darklaw for 2 says, if Jackie Signh needs to cut down on living expenses, she can always move to Tijuana and split the apartment with rent at $750 a month. No, that would be content. That would be pure content. Okay. Euclid Need for 1 says, no copyright, child. You will not use my content. Fucking watch me. Try me, bro. Keth King Khan for 5 says, couldn't be boomers and children have lowercase I internet where things were protected and now, and everyone else will have the true and honest internet. Yes, I guess. Put them in jail internet. Crispy Legs for 10 says, happy Friday. Party blue emoji. Thank you. I will have a happy Friday. Appreciate it. Grognan 10 says, keep up the good work. Thank you. I appreciate it. I will keep up the good work. Good Luck 7 for 5 says, people get by doing bullshit like Uber, DoorDash, and OnlyFans. Well, that's fucking depressing. Ace of Speds for 5 says, here's the $5 Cole couldn't afford for the community, or extra cheese, whichever prefer. Extra cheese sounds better. Mad Call 95 for 5 says, Josh, what are your thoughts on the king of all toppings, anchovies? I fucking love anchovies. I love them so much. Especially in, like, just regular cheese pizza. Mousecop 5 for 5 says, my wife and I listen to Maddie every Friday. I love my base and red-pilled wife. That sounds very wholesome, bro. I appreciate it. The Bugs for 1 says, if you do another call, the payment process, record it and censor any information. I might. Nigga Cat Appreciator for one says, bring back KiwiFarms.cc. The Hindus have taken over the internet. Nigga Cat Appreciator, the spill seeping in through your monitor. You have to convince Kreckenword it's a good idea. And then he will. Gormless Wonder for one says, have you ever had a hobo meal? Basically wrap meat and potatoes and whatever on the tinfoil and stick it over a campfire. I have not. And JJ for 5 says, when developing a product, do you focus on making it subpar but functional or high quality and nearly perfect? I try to focus on, it depends on what it is. When it comes to like coding, I just try to get it functional at first, and then I nitpick it. I rewrite it later to be better. Okay, that's it. No more hell. I will see you guys on Tuesday. I might see you earlier if I stream video games this weekend, because I'm very tempted to do Dustborn, but we will see what the future holds. Thank you for watching. Oh, there's one more. And Vordier for 5 says, are we getting the Book of Enoch? I hope not. No. Okay, I'll see you guys later. Take it easy. Bye-bye. I say, and then I try to find the song. Where is it? Right here. Bye.